Boronia, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Ikira Urgent Care. We have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a race tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Brings EFL The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Archer, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league B&F, our B&F.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
T&B Discount Window Warehouse is having a relocation sale, not to be missed, on Saturday the 4th of May. Hundreds of windows and doors will be for sale, with prices starting at $80. Finish those renovations before winter kicks in. You'd be crazy to miss out. Head down to Unit 4, 116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Saturday week, or phone them on 1300 075 038. That's 1300 075 038. T&B Discount Window Warehouse, part of the AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transport.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website www.efl.org.au.
On EFL Saturday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
Yes, it's EFL Game Day right here on 98.1 FM and streaming through efl.org.au. Certainly looking forward to bringing you this one from 2 right up until 5 p.m. Should be a cracking game. The Eastern Lions have defeated Park Orchards reasonably comfortably in the reserves match as well. So thank you for the great hospitality, I should say, here. The Eastern Lions doing a magnificent job. And it's great to be out here, right across the road from EFL House. Ben Waterworth here, looking forward to being your host right throughout the day, bringing you all around the ground scores right throughout the contest. And we've got a great commentary team lined up, a couple of debutants as well. We'll introduce them to you very shortly. But a man who's been on for the media team for a number of years now and always does a magnificent job in the Choose Tap Stats chair. He's back again, and we're looking forward to hearing his dulcet tones in the Choose Tap Stats chair again. Will Taylor, hello, sir.
Yeah, very special good afternoon to you, Benny. Looking forward to this game, and it'd be interesting to see how these two teams play. Obviously, Eastern Lions had a bye last week, and Park Orchards coming off a very shock loss to Surrey Park at home last week. So it'd be interesting to see, especially how the Sharks play today, if they can bounce back.
Yep, well, especially after last weekend's loss, Wilbur, a very, very, well, I suppose interesting loss in a way, because there had to be one team that went down to Surrey Park, and the Park Orchards had to be that team in the end. But there's got no doubt that they'll bounce back. They're a proud club led by a great president in Stephen Harrington, who loves this club to bits. So looking forward to seeing how this one goes. Plenty of guys making their way into the caravan as well. Peter Baird on special comments. You heard him just beforehand. Braden Ingram, of course, making his debut call right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern FM. Of course, this is EFL Game Day. You're listening to 98.1 FM and streaming on efl.org.au. And you can join in the conversation anytime you want. 0419 654 082. That's 0419 659 654 082. Of course, you can join in the conversation via Twitter at FootyEFL, or you can get in touch with us via Facebook, facebook.com/FootyEFL. Time to introduce a couple of our other callers today. You heard him beforehand in pre-match, and it's great to have him on debut for calling today. It's a very good afternoon to Braden Ingram.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Ben. Can't wait for this one. Really excited to get underway.
And let's introduce the main man here on EFL Game Day, calling this one, Ben Warren-Smith. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon to you, Ben Waterworth, and all our Radio Eastern and Game Day listeners. There's sure to be a cracker match out here at Fairpark. Excited to be out here for the first time in a number of years. It's a picturesque conditions out here. The grass is looking really good. Good cover on the ground out here. There's a bit of a wind, which we know that our boundary riders will let us know very shortly all about. But interesting game I expect it to be today, Ben. Of course, Park Orchard's coming on after a bit of a surprise loss to the club, maybe a win that they would have notched on at the start of the year. They need to be able to bounce back from that. We saw that they were a good side last year, so I expect a really good improvement from them. The Eastern Lions, a question mark side this afternoon. How will they go? They've knocked on the door of some good sides over recent seasons. They started off last year really well until injuries really hurt the club and they fell right away. So they'll be looking to bounce back. They had a squiz at this club last week. They're back on their home park. There's a good crowd down here to welcome them back to Fairpark. Just really excited.
I think we're all excited, and I'm sure the Eastern Lions boys, I know they're definitely excited to be back playing on their home ground. Noticing the number 9 News Eastern Lions jersey out there. Jason Want is certainly looking very, very nice. I saw he was tweeting away earlier beforehand. I'm sure we'll get plenty of mentions throughout the day. Well, Jason Want is a star. He was nominated for the Leader Young Gun in Divisions 3 and 4 last year, and he's also an umpire as well. Umpires junior football on a Sunday. Both teams out in the park. Looking forward to calling this one, of course. Both teams out in the park. Umpires are out there as well. There's quite a significant wind advantage. We'll cross down to our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders very, very shortly. They'll be riding the boundary, all thanks to Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic. Walk-in at 157 Scoresby Road, Boronia. Any injuries, any cuts, any bruises, anything, any ego dampeners, make sure you head to Akira Urgent Care, 157 Scoresby Road in Boronia. I think we might be able to cross down to our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders for the first time, and it's great to have them back on board. Well, this man in particular on board, and he's got a debutant. Let's start with Corey Hall, and of course joining him also is Billy Vickers. Hello, Corey.
Thanks. Hello, Ben. There's a light wind going across diagonal across the ground towards the Scoresby Road end of the ground. It's about 19 degrees, but when the wind blows, it feels about 10. It's sunny with a bit of cloud. The ground just got resurfaced, so it's in good nick at the moment. The loss last week's to Surrey will only fire out the boys. I'm tipping the Sharks this week by about 20 points. And I've got the bench for you.
Yes.
It's Greg Pollard, Ben Hyde, Sebastian Shelley and Jono Dressing.
That's for, of course, the Park Orchard side. We'll have a chat to our other boundary rider making his debut today. Hello to you, Billy Vickers.
Yes, hello, boys. Thank you very much. Eastern Lions are unchanged today. We've just got a few jumper changes.
Yep.
Mickey Camburis is going to be wearing number 25. Peter Giampoulos has moved on to 17. Shawnee Hamilton's going to be wearing 41. And we've got Grant Murphy, 36. We've got one inclusion. Nick Cowan, number 34, has come into the side as well. Just an addition.
Great stuff, Billy. Information service working at its best. Nice start by you on debut. Quickly, let's whip around the commentary team. The winners today, starting with you, Will Taylor.
I'm going to go for the Eastern Lions to win this game by 5 points.
Braden Ingram.
Eastern Lions for me.
BWS.
I'll have to go for the Eastern Lions.
And Frosty Baird.
I'm sticking with the Eastern Lions. I reckon they can have a convincing win.
Umpire holds the ball aloft. We're set for a start here on EFL Gameday. Once the siren sounds, the umpire's standing in the middle looking extremely awkwardly. We're set to go right here on EFL Gameday. Here's Ben Warren-Smith.
And it'll be Cowan to go up in the ruck. Eastern Lions going left to your radio dial. There it was Walkley, in fact, for the Sharks. Ball hits the deck. Who's going to be the first to scoop out? It's Vic Curry. He got a handball out wide to Devonish. Kick was half spun. The ball's still in the middle of the ground. It will have a bounce. So a hot footy early in the piece. Both sides looking to get their first 4 points on the board this year. Walkley got the knockdown. It came straight into the arms of Kreskes. He got a snap around the body, kicked it up towards the half-forward line. The foot races on out there. Temple was going to be first to meet it, but he was met instead out there by Battistella. Kick goes short, and the good mark has been taken, so the Sharks will get a chance to rebound. Along the centre wing now they go. The kick goes inside forward 50, and a good mark has been taken at the last line of defence by Rankin. So he can play forward or back. He switches the play now. That was an okay kick. Finds Curry. So in the back pocket now for the Lions. Short passes on. It was a shank of a kick. Ryan Turner cuts it off for Park Orchard. So he's about 60 metres out from goal. He might even fancy himself here. He's going back as if he might have a shot here, Pete.
I reckon he might. I don't reckon they're 50-metre arcs here at Fairpark. I reckon they might be closer to 40.
So potentially the first scoring shot on the board for Park Orchards as Turner comes in. It's a nice looking kick. It's going to go to the top of the goal square, fisted over for a rush behind. So on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, we've only gone a couple of minutes here in the first term. It is Park Orchards 1 behind. Eastern Lions yet to score.
James Hall to bring it back in. Doesn't have much on at the moment. Umpire tells him to move on. Now play on. Just going to have to bomb long. Out to the far side. Pack of Park Orchards players there. Ball comes to ground. Eastern Lions trying to get it out there. Scrap in there. Handball out to into the centre. Trying to pick it up there was Tambouris. Couldn't do much. We've got a free kick to the Eastern Lions. Go the way of Cowan. Handball's off on the far wing. Eastern Lions have got it with coach Rob Crescus. Then it finds Powell holding the ball against him. Free kick 60 out. Park Orchards move it quickly inside forward 50. Finds Christian for her. Players calling everywhere across the side of the ground. Not a great kick though. No, oh, coat hanger there. Got taken down there was Hollower.
Great mark.
Yeah, very good mark indeed. About 30 out. I thought it was going to be intercepted there right in the centre there by Hamilton. Couldn't get there. Good mark. A little bit of a nasty one after play, but should go back and be able to slot this here, Hollower.
Yeah, just overused the ball, the Eastern Lions there on that far side of the ground. That's what caused the turnover, and that was beautiful delivery inside forward 50 then for the Park Orchard side. And this big guy, he came out lead well, and that was really strong hands. He was checked late, but really strong over the ball there, and looking to go back and put the first one on the board for Park Orchards.
So he's got the wind behind him back. His back shouldn't have any issues with it. On its way, and the Park Orchards boys like it. That is the first goal of the afternoon. It's Park Orchards 1-1-7 to the Eastern Lions. No score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Yeah, they really made them pay them, which is what they're going to have to do, Park Orchards. Then, as I said, the Eastern Lions overused the ball. They'd handballed, sold their player into trouble, and it was actually their coach, Robbie Crescus, that actually put that extra handball in that probably didn't need it to, and that's what caused that turnover.
So the first two scoring shots go the way of the Sharks. They have a slight breeze in this quarter. As Corey mentioned, it's going across the ground. No clear tap out that time. The ball's in the middle. The umpire might restart this one. He does. So right in the heart of Fairpark. A fantastic looking Fairpark it is today. Walkley got the knockdown. It came towards the Curry direction. Park Orchards are going to get the clearance now. Bouncing ball in the middle. Couldn't quite trap it on that occasion was Black, but it'll be a free kick to Park Orchard. Did you see what that one was for, P?
That was in the back, just a bit of an overzealous tackle there from the Eastern Lions player.
So the kick goes long inside forward 50. He goes into the forward pocket. It was intended for Gamble. He had one bite. He goes after it again. He brings the ball back around his body. That's a clever looking kick. It might go all the way. Flying over the top was Jenkins, but unfortunately for him, he couldn't quite hold the mark. Another rush behind. They've had the first three scoring shots, the Park Orchards Football Club. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they moved to 1-2-8. The Eastern Lions yet to score.
Ball has been camped down the Park Orchards attacking end to start this game. Hall brings it back in. Didn't waste too much time. Out towards the wing, trying to take the mark there was Devonish. Couldn't do much. Going to come straight back inside 50. Trying to take the mark. Ball spills to ground. Players on top. Plenty of Park Orchards players. In there is Ryan Turner. Eventually, umpire says, I'll have it about 35 around from the Park Orchards goal. Won the tap easily for the Eastern Lions there was Cowan. But the mark's taken and they should go here, the Eastern Lions. They're away. Got the ball, does Rankin. Heads towards the broadcast wing. Going to have to be good over the top of the head of McElroy. He manages to pick it up. Numbers of Park Orchards everywhere. Just whacks it on the left. Not a bad kick. 70 out from the Eastern Lions. Got a great mark taken there away. Broke the tackle, did O'Keefe. Can have a shot on goal. And it's just to the... No, it's a goal.
Oh, what a
goal. Took the mark, broke the tackle and kicked the goal. Eastern Lions are on the board. They're 1-6. The Park Orchards are 1-2-8 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
That was a fantastic individual piece of play then from James O'Keefe from the Eastern Lions. He held his ground in the marking contest, forced his player under the ball, was then able to run onto that loose ball and just slam it on his boot from about 45, 50 metres out. That's a fantastic kick. There's the contender for EFL Player of the Day for next week's EFL TV right away.
Fantastic start in this game, Division 4 at its best. The umpire comes in. Walkley got the knockdown, charging through the middle. Eastern Lions might get a handball out. Curry's on the outside looking for it, charging through. O'Keefe as well. Over the top of his head, they're going to mop up the Sharks. The kick goes in towards the middle of the ground. First to meet it was Mitchell for the Lions. He trapped it well, just banged it on his boot up towards a half-forward line. But in the end, it went nowhere. And Park Orchards cut it off once again. So they're going to switch the play here. The lead goes out wide. It was intended for Gamble. It went over his head. Good, strong mark, nearly taken there by James Hall. He went after it again. Jumping on his back was Brennan and gives away a free kick. So James Hall, the trusty fullback. Short options on. They might get the 1-2 here. Running on was Black on the left boot. He goes up towards the half-forward line, and they just might slow things down here. McElroy received a handball. They're mucking around with it a little bit here. The Lions Temple. They go wider. The kick goes in towards the pocket. Mopping up and snapping and almost getting a boot to ball there. I think was Camboris. Ball still alive though. Park Orchards are going to have the numbers. They clear out to the wing position. Flying over the back, nearly taking a mark was Jenkins. He created the spoil. And in fact, he's given away a free kick to Nick Cowan for in the back. So a little bit ticky touchwood, but Cowan keeps the ball moving along. Nice and quick. That's the way they want to do things. So he found a teammate there in Hamilton who switched it into the middle of the ground. Crackers got the ball moving. This is good play. Inside forward 50 now for the Lions. The ball hits the deck, intended for Gordon. He couldn't quite meet it. Coming into lend support was Battistella for the Park Orchards. And we'll have a ball up just inside the forward line for the Eastern Lions. It's crossed down boundary side to Billy Vickers thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Just a quick note, boys. Peter Gianpoulos has just limped off very sorely. He's got the boot off. It looks like he might have done an ankle early in the stages of this game.
A series of handballs from Hamilton went nowhere, and now Park Orchards are away. The driving kick inside forward 50, intended for Holloway over the back of his head. They might get a go here, snapping around the body. This could be almost well, he nearly could have got a push in the back there, you would have thought. I
think so.
But only a behind to Sammy Scanlon, who's a very good centre player on his day and can kick a goal too. So on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it is Park Orchards 1-3-9. They're leading the Eastern Lions 1 straight 6.
Lee Rankin played on from the kick-in, found his man in Curry. Along the wing, not a great handball. Pressure's on, they should get away now. Ball with Hall. He kicks along the far wing. Pushing the back wasn't paid. Eastern Lions still got it. Ball comes to ground. Park Orchards now along the wing, trying to find the boundary line. They have not what they want. It's out on the full. Eastern Lions free kick right in between the interchange gates. Switches into the centre of the ground. A risky kick, great mark taken by captain Jamie Devonish. Plays on towards half forward. Bouncing footy, tries to sell a bit of candy there. Was Black. Kick out towards the far wing. Cut off. Park Orchards can go now if there's a clean picker. Can't. They've got a chance there away through Ryan Turner. In the centre. Ball finds for her. Inside 50. Couldn't take the mark there. Was Bahagia. And it'll roll out of bounds. Good pressure there from David Mitchell. 45 around from the Park Orchards goal.
We heard Robbie Kreskis talk pre-game about how he wanted to play contested footy. They're overusing their handball at the moment, the Eastern Lions, and they're probably selling themselves into too much pressure by doing that. They're probably not adapting yet some of those Southern Footy League style of footy they're trying to bring to the Eastern Football League, which probably hasn't worked for them at the start of the game.
Ball bouncing around and the defensive 50 for the Eastern Lions. They got it away, trying to pick it up as Bahagia under pressure on the ground. A couple of series of handballs trying to get it out. Ball will find Want. Now in the centre, towards the inside 50. Floating ball, not really going to favour anyone. Park Orchards, though, they can get away through their man in Burn. Towards the wing, close to the boundary line. Should be able to take the mark there. Is Gamble. He holds it up. He's got a free man right against the boundary line in Bahagia. Chooses not to use him. Now towards half. It's not a great kick. Comes to ground, still favouring Park Orchards. Handball off. Pressure. Ball picked up there by Coughlin. Now they've just got a chance to settle. A bit of speed there. Inside 50. High ball in the pocket. Can't take the mark. Ball will spill out of bounds in the hands of James Hall next to the right hand behind post.
Park Orchards are just playing a little bit more direct football at the moment, and that's probably the difference between the two sides.
Ball's going to come back in. Another chance of Park Orchards. Ball's been down here pretty often. One that tapped to the Eastern Lions. Handball out there was from Hall. He's been good early. Now Kreskis, the coach. Can't do much. Running in there was Murphy. Tackled over the line by Ryan Turner. Another throw in. About 20 around from the Park Orchards goal.
So we've gone about 12 minutes here. It's 3 points the difference here. 1-3-9 Park Orchards. The Eastern Lions at 1 straight 6. The ball's in the forward pocket for the Sharks. The Lions just shank a kick out of nowhere. Holler was going to charge up and try and take a mark here, but settling down and taking a nice mark at the last line of defence was Kreskis. On the left boot now, switches play. That was a dangerous kick too, chopped off by Gamble. And he'll be within range here, Peter Baird. We've seen some shots from outside this range already make the distance, and he'll be looking to put through the Sharks' second goal.
Yeah, just a bit some sloppy disposal coming out of their defensive 50 from the Eastern Lions. They just need to be a little bit more composed, look for their best option as they try and transition the ball.
So it will be Gamble. About 45 metres out from goal. It was a skew F kick off the boot. It goes into the forward pocket. A mark was taken at the back of the pack by Brennan Jenkins. A good mark too. He was in the right spot. He wants to play on quickly. It was a silly
Poor
kick
option.
because he's crossed the play, and Vic Curry has taken a mark for the Lions. So a big lead off there for the Eastern Lions, but they manned up inside the defensive 50. That's what they needed to do. Kept the pressure on. So Curry drives the ball out wide. It was a pretty decent kick too. So the mark's been taken. Giannopoulos kicks up now towards the half-forward line. It was a fair old roost too at the back of the pack. Brooks nearly dropped what he probably should have taken. Park Orchards are going to mop up here. Good handball there by Turner. Went for the 1-2. Now the ball goes up to the half-forward line. It's a little bit like kick-to-kick, and it's in a short ground. It can be dangerous in a matter of seconds. Jason Want takes on his opponent. Gamble wrapped him up in a tackle, and then he held on to him a little bit too long.
Lucky
And
there,
Sam Fraser
Want
was running in to what would seem an open goal. But Jason Want now, he switches the play out wide. That was a good kick too. Finds his teammate in Grant Murphy, who kicks it up, a scrubber of a kick up towards the half-forward line, but manages to back himself up and go for the 1-2. Now switches to the left foot, kicks it inside forward 50. The players go up for it. Griffith's got a good knockdown at the back of the pack. Park Orchards now might be able to switch the play out here or go for the safety of the boundary line. The ball just may be able to stay in. That was okay. Batistella kicks a bit of a scramble of a kick up towards the half-back line still, and running it over was Sam Fraser, who's a little bit frustrated at the moment and kicked it out of bounds on the full and nearly ran into an open goal before. But play goes on. The handball in the middle by Powell. Found a teammate, and linking up was Brewing with Mitchell. He nearly looked like he was going to have a shot there. The kick goes right off the side of the boot. It was almost fell into the arms of the big full forward Rod Church, but he trapped it well and will have a ball up about 40 metres out from goal.
Both teams very sloppy with some of their disposal as they try and move the ball down the ground. That's what's causing the turnover. Just need to be a little bit more composed, lower their eyes and hit the target.
So Church went in that time. The ball comes down. Still near that boundary line. Who can trap it in there? Camboris is there. Umpire still letting play go. That was a good bit of play. This time it was Turner. Got the handball away, and the Sharks, they've done so well already in this first term, Peter Baird. They've been able to drive the ball out of the back line. So Jenkins comes up and takes a mark. He's been presenting well early in this first term. He's going to kick it up towards the centre half forward position now. Intended target there was Scanlon. He'll meet it on the bounce. Players charging in. Good play by Holloway to get the handball away, but he did put his teammate in a lot of pressure in Christian Fair. And we'll have a ball up about 50 metres out from goal as we cross down to Corey Hall, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, the Sharks are playing a very defensive game. It looks like every time the ball goes into the forward 50, there's a big huddle around the midfield, which tells me he's Peter Nicholson's really relying on his forwards to do the job.
The Eastern Lions have got the ball out of defensive 50 through their captain in Jamie Devonish. Ball's going to head inside there, attacking 50 now, but Park Orchards have got the numbers and just bomb it. Took back inside there for the bouncing footy. Players for Eastern Lions need to get in there. In there, like making a tackle for Park Orchards was Jenkins, and it will be a ball up 60 out from Park Orchards' goal. Kick-to-kick footy at the moment. No teams had an opportunity just to settle the play down at the time being. Played about 15 minutes first term. Ball came to ground, trying to get it out there was Jenkins the ruckman. Still scrapping in there. Players can't get it out. Jumping in there was, for her, of the Tom variety, it'll be a ball up pretty much in the same position as before. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it's Park Orchards by 3 points. Ball up, won the tap for Park Orchards there was Walkley, got a free kick high. Will go the way of Park Orchards in time for her. Handball's off, ball spilled. Need to get it, pick it up, does. Ball's going to head to the top of the square. Out the back, trying to pick it up for Park Orchards was Scanlon. He does, try to break a tackle, got tackled out the footy, play on. Need just a bit of composure here, do the Lions. Ball's going to come out through Want. He's under pressure. Handball to handball, they can't seem to get it out, and eventually it will roll out of bounds 50 around from the Park Orchards goal.
He's playing that loose man in defence, Jason Wand, at the moment, but he just needs to be a bit more direct. He likes to run and break lines, but you need sometimes when you're playing as that loose man, you need to put the ball under the boot and hit your target.
Ball to ground, the Eastern Lions got numbers, they'll get it away through Brooks. Now they've got it through the centre of the ground with Want. Ball's going to bounce, try to kick it off the ground, couldn't do much. Numbers for Park Orchards, just need to calm it down a bit. On the ground, trying to get in there, on the boot was McElroy. Spilling ball 30 out from the Eastern Lions. Goal. Need a bit of composure here. Players diving in. Umpire looked to blow his whistle. Eastern Lions will clear it. Just need to calm down. Trying to pick up the ball there was O'Leary. Has a chance. Still numbers. They shook your goal. Eastern Lions. They can't. And Park Orchards clear. Good mark taken there by Fraser. Can head to the wing. Mark taken and play on there by O'Leary. Will head inside 50. Needs a good kick, but it's pretty easily cut off there by Jamie Devonish.
And Devonish wants to keep the ball moving. It was a bit of a scrapper of a kick, but they had to link up. Handball's a big ruckman, and Bailey was in there, but they're putting themselves in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to go after it now. Bailey gets down, gets the handball out. That was good play. Had support running through with Gordon. The umpire's going to come in and wrap himself up right in the heart of Fairpark. It's only a 3-point ball game out here. EFL Game Day. Fantastic scenes. The umpire now throws it up in the air. Bailey went up. It was a bit of a fresh air shot. It's across the half-forward line now for the Eastern Lions. Can they get the ball? Somehow it comes into the arms of Temple. He was crunched in a tackle. That was a ripper by Ben O'Leary. And we'll have a bounce just about 45 metres out, right on that 45-metre arc from the Eastern Lions goal. So the umpire, quick to restart this match. Wanting things to move on. Walkley, he had the front spot that time, so he put his body in there, so that worked out okay for them. Hayde got the handball away, put his teammate under a lot of pressure, but went back after it again. Sam Fraser comes in, nice little chip kick around the body. Goes up towards the Hayde direction. Handball across. They're going inside and outside. Gamble now switches around. Kicks it inside forward 50 looking for the Hollower direction. It goes over his head. Shepherding there by Rankin. He had to go after it in the end. Did Lee. He got crunched in a tackle right over the shoulder. Hollower's not too happy about it. Well, the relieving kick out of defence for the Eastern Lions. They've been choosing a lot this afternoon to use the scoreboard side of the ground. As Corey mentioned, that's the way the wind was blowing, so you'd expect a lot of the play to be going across the ground in that direction. James Hall, now on that trusty left boot of his, up towards the wing position. It was ended up being kicked towards a one-on-one contest. Pollard knocked it away. That was good play, and then laid some support too for his teammate to run away with it. Wantirna snaps around the body, inside forward 50. Hollower direction over the back of the pack. Who's there? Jono Dressing started on the bench, and he nearly came over the back and took a mark. Over she goes for another boundary throw-in. There's been quite a few stoppages, but let's have a listen to some of the stats thanks to Choose Tap with Will Taylor.
Yeah, Park Orchards inside forward 50s, 12-8 in favour of Park Orchards. Inside forward 50s, the tackle count at the moment is 14-6 in favour of Park Orchards.
Well, the umpire threw it in over everybody's head and over the Eastern Lions. You'd think would clear Kreska's. His kick was half smothered. Now Park Orchards somehow scramble a kick to the top of the goal square. 2-on-2 situation. Dressing at the back of the pack. What a great mark that was. Instead, he gave a little bit of a nudge, which he is not too happy. And when an angry man like Jono Dressing tells you it's not a right decision, you run away. But the Eastern Lions, they're doing just that. The kick by Mitchell goes into the middle of the ground. Jason Want, Peter Baird's getting a lot of the ball early. Darren Murphy across the half-back line received the kick from Want, and now he'll kick it up towards the wing position. Trapping a good mark there was Shane Powell. He charges the ball inside forward 50. The kick went off the side of the boot. Church has got to be good here. Got the handball away. It goes back up towards the middle of the ground, and now the Sharks are going to be able to rebound across the half-back line, but the kick, well, it was intended in the end for Christian Fair. It bounced once before it reached the boundary line, and over she goes. Fast-paced game, Pete.
It is. Both teams are looking to transition the ball. I think the Eastern Lions are just overusing the handball. I don't know if you've got a stat on their handball to kick ratio at the moment, Will Taylor, but sometimes you just need to put the ball under the boot and look downfield and hit your target instead of trying to get fancy and trying to run around guys and dish off to a other teammate.
The Lions won the tap, but it's going to come inside 50. The Park Orchards need to be careful here. Might get run down. No, they're away. Can have a bounce and can run. Ball looks to be with Devonish. Handball out through the centre. Got plenty good run. Missed the target there was Murphy. Going to put him under pressure. Caught one in the back play on. After the ball there is Fraser. Gets a little kick out and they can just look to work it inside 50. It needs it to sit for Hyde. Does eventually. Kick over the head again, and a good mark taken there by Jason Want. Plenty of the ball early, doesn't muck around, switches to the outer side, and he finds his man in Kreskis, the coach. Handball off, keep putting themselves under pressure because Park Orchards have got the ball, like high floating ball in the wind. Pressure was on. Park Orchards just trying to get it out. Kreskis again, and a good mark taken close to the boundary line there by Grant Murphy. Just slowing it down a bit. Doesn't have much. Sorry, it's Nick Cowan in fact. To the wing, going up there was Byrne. Couldn't take it close to the boundary line. That's where it ends up, right in front of our Kira Urgent Care boundary riders. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it's Park Orchards 139, the Eastern Lions 1 straight 6. Fast-paced game early. Lions won the tap through Murphy. Out the back, and we've got a whistle. We have a free kick to the Park Orchards. Got plenty of space on the broadcast side of the ground. That's where they'll head. It'll head to top of the 50 with a good mark taken in defence by Devonish. Plays on, gets a Shepherd, look to bomb long. It's going to hold up in the wing in the centre of the ground. Mark taken there by Jared Byrne. Very much kick to kick at the moment. Can't seem to find his flying play. Alone there, though, was Ryan Turner. Sells a bit of candy. Lines up. Siren goes. Needs it to float through. Needs a good Shepherd, but it's a goal square. Saw the ball through. So at quarter time, it is a 9-point lead to Park Orchards.
Fantastic stuff by the Park Orchard Sharks. At quarter time, they lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 2 goals, 3-15. The Eastern Lions, the home side, returning to Fairpark. They are 1 straight 6. The goal kickers are Hollowa and Turner for Park Orchards, with James O'Keefe kicking the Lions' only major. We're going to cross back to Barry Cotts in the Radio Eastern studios and come back with Ben Waterworth, because there's so many scores happening as you go local for your football right here on EFL Game Day.
Had an accident on the field? Head straight to Ikira Urgent Care for immediate medical treatment, and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, we'll treat your broken bones, sprains, strains, cuts, or any other game day injuries. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Boronia, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Ikira Urgent Care. We have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink. It's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For all things EFL,
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Archer, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league DNF, LBNF.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Radio Eastern 98.1 at 26-3. Currently very pleasant 20 degrees in Melbourne's outer east. Let's check some AFL scores now. And currently the big game, the blockbuster at the MCG this afternoon between Richmond and Collingwood. It's the 23-minute mark of the first quarter, and it's Richmond 2-2-14 leading Collingwood 1-4-10 in that game. And the other game being played today down there at Aurora Stadium in Launceston in Tasmania between Hawthorn and Fremantle, and Hawthorn definitely kicked away. It's the 13-minute mark of the second quarter, and it's Hawthorn 7-3-45, leading Fremantle 2-3-15. So a 5-goal lead to Hawthorn halfway through the second quarter. And the twilight game this afternoon at Etihad Stadium is between St Kilda and Essendon, and it gets underway at 20-5, and we'll give you scores from that. All the other games right here at Radio Eastern 98.1. Now, T&B Discount Window Warehouse is having a relocation sale not to be missed on Saturday the 4th of May. Hundreds of windows and doors will be for sale with prices starting at $80. Finish those renovations before winter kicks in, and you'd be crazy to miss it. Head down to Unit 4, 116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth between 8am and 1pm Saturday week, or phone them on 1300 075 038. That's 1300 075 038. T&B Discount Window Warehouse, part of the AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transport.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, quarter time here on EFL Game Day. A very, very, very short quarter we have found ourselves, but it's been a good one for the Park Orchards, who are away at Fairpark Reserve today. Park Orchards are 1 straight 6. The Eastern Lions are 2 2-3-15. That's our up-to-date scores right here on EFL Game Day.
That's the other way around.
Eastern Lions are 2-3-15, are they?
No, you said Eastern Lions 2-3. It's Park Orchards 2-3-15 to Eastern Lions 1-6.
Thank you, Wilbur, for correcting me. And while you're on a roll, let's hear some of the Choose Tap stats that mattered from that first term, because there's not a lot of scores around happening at the moment.
Yeah, Park Orchards dominated that quarter on the score, but also on the stats as well. Inside forward 50s, 17-8 in favour of Park Orchards. Inside forward 50, they had a 5-0 inside forward 50 early on in that game. The clearance is 10-5 in favour of Park Orchards. The marks inside forward 50 is 2-0 in favour of Park Orchards. Marks inside defensive 50 is 5-1 in favour of the Eastern Lions. The turnover count 19-14.
Ready on the boundary.
In favour of the Eastern Lions. The free kick count 5-4 in favour of the Eastern Lions. And the tackle count Park Orchards 17 to Eastern Lions 6.
Let's head down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Billy Vickers.
Thanks, Benny. I've just got Danny Russo, the assistant with the Eastern Lions down here. Danny, it wasn't maybe the start that you were hoping for. What was the main message to the group at quarter time?
Look, I think what was pretty obvious right from the start is that Park Orchards has obviously already played one game and we're, fresh off. So plenty of nerves, plenty of jitters, fiddling with the ball a little bit, perhaps not chasing as hard as we should, getting into the whole pace of the game. It's probably the start.
Can you just give us a quick update on Peter Giannopoulos? Is he out for the game?
He's got a heel issue. He's got a bit of numbness in his heel. At this stage, he's not feeling super confident, but we'll give him the quarter to at least find out how it's feeling and see if we can get him back on.
Thanks very much for your time. Back up to you, boys.
Great work, Billy Vickers, with assistant coach there of the Eastern Lions, Danny Russo. Not a lot of scores around the EFL, but we do know that Wantirna South and Boronia are a little ahead at the moment because they're half an hour ahead, actually, because there's a Vets game starting at 4:30. And it's Wantirna South who actually lead by 21 points at quarter time, BWS.
Thank you very much, Benny. Let's keep those scores coming throughout the quarter. Now, the second term has just got underway. We've had a restart in the middle of the ground, so Walkley went up. Probably got the knockdown that time was Cowan, who's going to get the clearance. It'll be the Eastern Lions. They drive the ball up towards the half-forward line. Had the back spot there, and the ball will be cleared now. That's a good little bit of play. Up towards the half-forward line, over the back of the pack. Mitchell, he nearly gave away a little bit of a shove here. The umpire said it was fair. So centre wing position, right near that Bendigo Bank scoreboard, which shows a 9-point lead to Park Orchards at quarter time. They had the slight breeze. So the Eastern Lions will be looking to, get back into this match, even though it is only a tight margin. Very short quarter to start off, so both teams will still be fresh. How did you see that first term, Peter Baird?
Yeah, well, we heard the assistant coach from the Eastern Lions talk about the way they fiddled around with it. I thought that was the key for the Eastern Lions. They seem to play a style of footy that Rob Kreskis has brought from the Southern Footy League, where they like to run and carry and overuse that handball. On these Eastern Football League grounds that are a little bit smaller in Division 4, you're going to see your team made in trouble, and that's what they got caught out with 3 or 4 times in that quarter.
Trapped this time by Christian Fair. Snap around the body, only travelled about 10 metres and has been chopped off along the wing position. The Eastern Lions will look to switch into the middle of the ground. Daniel Black made good space, takes the mark. Just slowing things down here. The short passes on in the middle. That's okay. Mark's been taken there by Hall. Going to move things on. Kick up towards the centre half forward line. Standing all alone was Brooks. It goes over his head. He might be able to meet it now. Charging through there was James. Lay some pressure. The Eastern Lions will scramble to kick somehow. The handball goes out wide. They'll go backwards to go forwards here. Curry break 1 tackle, broke 2. He might get pinged here. Holding the ball it is. So the pressure was laid there. Fantastic bit of tackling by Scotty Rowland. So across the half back line, he goes one way and then goes the next. He had players out wide and it was a smart option too, because Jenkins takes the mark now for the Sharks across the half back line, wants to switch it into the middle of the ground. They had running players on, but Tom Fair, bit of a general, a nice looking kick up towards Dressing as well. He had the front spot, it was knocked away from him at ground level. Trying to get a fresh air shot was Kreskis. Probably should have needed to pick the ball up. Then the handball by Want goes towards Kreskis through his arms once again. The forward line pressure is fantastic by the Sharks. Adam Gamble wrapping his opponent up in a tackle, and we'll have a bounce about 45 metres out from the Park Orchards goals.
It's interesting to see both teams flooding back numbers behind the footy. Park Orchards playing 2 loose men in defence, as us Eastern Lions.
Well, they're going to scramble a kick out here because McElroy banged it on his boot and kicked it inside forward. 50 now for the Lions. The ball comes into the arms of, Luke Gordon. The umpire was quick to restart this match, and we'll have a bounce. Only about 40 metres out from the Lions' goals. They trail by 9 points. Only gone a couple of minutes now in this second term. The umpire throws it up. The pack forms around the footy now. Little quick kick out towards the forward pocket, and it was a good kick too. because going out and finding space was Sean Brooks in the forward pocket, you'd nearly call him, but he'll kick from about 45 metres out from goal, but a very acute angle, Pete.
Yeah, that was a smart kick then, because it set Brooks to run onto the ball into space, and he's going to go back and have a shot from goal 40 out. He should kick this one.
So Sean Brooks, right in front of us here on the broadcast position, comes in now. It's a beautiful kick off the boot, straight over the goal umpire's head. That is the second goal for the Lions. That is the first goal of the second quarter. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it's reduced to a 3-point ball game out here. The Eastern Lions moved to 2 straight 12, but they're still trailing Park Orchard to a 2-3-15. Ben Waterworth around the grounds with some scores.
Yeah, they're slowly coming through. A couple in Division 1 East. Ringwood off to an okay start. Could be further in front. 2-7-19 to Norwood, 2-1-13. And Vermont have got the jump over Balwyn. 4-1-25 the Eagles. Balwyn 2-1-13. I can give you a couple others while I'm at it. In Division 4, Canterbury 2 straight 12, Forest Hill 5-2-32, and Templestowe 1-3-9, leading Churnside Park 1-1-7.
Walkley won the tap for Park Orchards, but it was quickly wrapped up. Another bounce down. The ball's going to come down. It'll find Murphy to ground on the centre of the ground. Kick around the body comes from Fair to the top of half forward. Got the ball here, Park Orchards through Fraser. Kicks inside 50, trying to take the mark. Probably tackle free kick against Park Orchards. Instead, it bounces out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in, 50 around. Was dressing, trying to take the mark for Park Orchards. Couldn't. And 30 around from the Sharks goal.
Always love watching Jono dressing Peter Baird throw his body around.
Oh, he's got that big, strong core. He's always tough over the ball. He's an experienced player in the Eastern Football League.
Eastern Lions had the numbers. Kick to this broadcast wing. Trying to take the mark there was Black. Comes to ground. Orchards have got a great work from Luke Turner. Kick towards goal. 20 out. Comes to ground. Should have taken the mark. It'll spill. Players in there. Trying to get it out again. Massive kick away from Curry. Comes to the wing. Got numbers. Park Orchard is going to come straight back in through Coughlin. He bombs long. Nice drop punt. Players under it. Good mark taken in defence by the ruckman for the Eastern Lions in Cowan. Thank you. Now, short kick just outside 50 finds the coach Rob Kreskis. He chooses to kick back almost over the head, but they're away on the wing. Ball comes back to Nick Cowan into the centre of the ground. Didn't muck around. It's a big torp, a floating one. Fisted out by Roland. Got numbers, Park Orchards. Roland tackled without it there. Got to get it out. Pressure on. In there trying to pick it up. The Sharks was O'Leary and they're away. He's got the handball out. Gives it to Coughlin. Along the wing. Good mark taken. They can move it if they're quick. Comes to Gamble. Doesn't have too much on. Players leading. Instead chooses to go to the top of the square. Ball fisted out. Park Orchard should get there. McElroy's leading the chase. He gets the handball out eventually. Gets it back.
Nearly a throw.
Kicked into the back of a Park Orchards player. It's just a real messy sort of affair at the moment. Still in the centre of the ground. Trying to break a tackle was Ryan Turner. Eventually gave it off. Found for her, Fair. Now sound Tom Fair, his brother, and a great mark taken in defence there by the captain Jamie Devonish.
And Devonish now is going to switch the ball out. They've got two players out wide here. The Lions, if they can raffle it, the kick was half smothered. It was intended for Daniel Black. It made him really work hard for it. The ball trickles over in the end. It was a good smother by Adam Coughlin.
He's got a free kick for holding the man though. BWS.
Yeah,
Gamble. Sorry, it was so. Well, he did, great bit of play, the chase, and then created the opportunity to get the free. So Gamble, short passes on, but the mark, well, it's been taken at the last line of defence by the Lions. They keep the ball moving. McElroy, at true centre half back. They might elect to kick to the outer side here. They've got numbers, or even go to the coach's side. That's where they've been aiming for. O'Keefe presented himself. The kick wasn't too crash shot, but he was up to the task. Now his ball goes along the wing position, looking for Darren Murphy. Dropped what he probably should have taken. The pressure's on here. High tackle might be paid here.
Boundary.
And it will go towards the Lions as we cross down boundary side, thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Corey Hall.
Yeah, Peter Nicholson for the quarter-time break said that he didn't want the Eastern Lions doing any more cheap sideways kicks, so he won't be happy with that.
Well, that was a sideways kick by the Lions, and it was picked up by Turner. He banged it on his boot. looking for the hollower direction. Coming across was James Hall for the Lions. He needs to mop it up. Did so now. They're putting themselves under a lot of pressure. Bailey bangs it on his boot up towards the wing. This time it was trapped by Fair. Kicks it inside forward 50. And like we've said already, it's a little bit like kick to kick here. But the Lions, once again, they're away in the middle of the ground. They might be able to link up in handballs here. Players inside forward 50. Almost taking a mark was Camboris. The Sharks are going to run away with this. Going for the 1-2 was Battistella. He did well. He got the handball across to Coughlin. He balked one. Got the handball away. Running through for support was Wantirna. Eventually gets ball to boot. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Roving Bahaja. He might be able to run up to his Holloway from point blank range. Just put it on his left boot and put it straight through the behinds. In fact, it clipped the outside of the post as well. So minor score is the result to the Sharks. They move on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard to 2 goals 4-16. They're leading the Eastern Lions, who are 2 straight 12.
James Hall directing traffic, heads to the far side of the ground. Mark taken. Haven't been able to slow the play down either side here. It's been pretty scrappy. Haven't been able to link targets, as Pete Baird said. Just trying to play a little bit of footy that's probably out of their range at the moment. Kicked it in the back pocket and it's found Hall. He looks for his man in Murphy. Couldn't find it. It's going to bounce out the back in favour of the Lions. Heading towards half forward. Good mark. Almost taken by O'Keefe. Came over his head. Park Orchard's now got the footy. Should be able to get out. They just can't seem to find a target. It's going to come straight back in the arms of Sean Hamilton. He goes short. Numbers here for the Eastern Lions. Heads inside 50, looking for Curry, and it'll bounce out of bounds. No, in fact, it's a mark taken to Lukey Turner. He heads to the wing. Not a great kick. It's out on the full, and the Eastern Lions will bring it back in.
There comes a point in a game where one of these coaches is going to have to give in and go and man up the loose man in defence, because at the moment it's just going to rebound between the two defensive 50-metre arcs.
Kick to the top of the 50, couldn't take the mark there, was Church. Gang tackled, he got the handball out, picked up there by O'Leary. Kick out, it's going to come straight back in, it looks to be Want. Handball off, got the numbers here, McElroy now, back to Want. Looks around, goes up towards the... Oh, plenty of numbers there. Towards the boundary. A good mark taken there by Mickey Chamburis. He can line up the big man from right on 40. Got the win behind his back.
That was a much better kick inside the forward 50 then. It caught the Park Orchards loose man in no man's land, just over his head. Camburis was able to lead out and take the good mark and go back and have a shot on goal.
So Camburis a chance to give the Eastern Lions a lead for the first time this afternoon. Looks pretty good off the boot, and it's just to the left-hand side. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it is Park Orchards 2-4-16, the Lions 2-1-13.
Around the grounds, Blackburn and Noble Park. The Bulls lead by 5 points at quarter time. Knox 25 lead East Burwood 7. East Ringwood lead Norwood by 1 goal. Rowville 139 lead Lilydale 5 behinds. Scoresby have got the jump on South Croydon 4-5-29 to South Croydon 1-4-10, and Vermont 4-1-25 lead Balwyn 2-1-13.
Battistella for the Sharks, kicks it out of the defensive zone. It's still across that forward 50 now for the Eastern Lions as they scrounge to keep the ball inside that range. Running after it there was Jenkins, tried to trap the ball. Scrambled a kick somehow inside forward 50, bouncing the way of Byrne. He went after it, banged it on his boot, got it out of that very much danger zone. But the Eastern Lions once again will be able to chop things off here. He created space. He's got players on across half forward, picked up there by the big man in Bailey. He got the running handball on. Now the kick goes to the top of the goal square. They need players at the fall of the ball, but it will be the Sharks who might be able to clear this. The handball comes out to Coughlin. He had to break one tackle. He was crunched, got boot to ball, but it went out of bounds on the full, and the Lions will have another chance to reload. So it's a fast-paced game on a small ground, and plenty of turnovers, but it's a hot football. So they'll be electing to go long here. Players screaming for it long. Camboris, short pass maybe on here in Bailey, goes up towards the hot spot about 20 metres out from goal, and a free kick's being paid here, Peter Baird.
And once again, they're just bombing into a nest of Park Orchards players. Their Park Orchards flooding numbers back, but as soon as they get the ball to the centre line, they've got no one to kick to because the Eastern Lions reverse numbers are back there the other way.
Turn of speed by Battistella, got the 1-2 and then kicked it up towards the half-forward line. It was chopped off by Mitchell, though, for the Lions, who banged it on his boot, kicked it out towards the wing position, creating a little bit of a foot race out here. I think the boundary line will beat all players. It eventually does. Boundary. Right in front of us here on the broadcast side. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Corey Hall.
Yeah, that free kick went to Jared Byrne for a big knock on the head. He's tough though, he'll stay on.
Thank you very much, Corey. The umpire brings the ball back into play now. Over the head that time of O'Keefe. Couldn't quite trap it. Coughlin for the Sharks. Got the handball back. It was a smart kick too, because they've taken a mark just outside the centre square. And the turner of the Ryan variety goes out towards the wing side. Good spoil there by Want. The ball somehow stays in. It was intended for Temple. He had to go after it. Want goes after it again. Gets the handball back inside. They need to be able to raffle this. Good tackling pressure. That was a beautiful tackle by Seb Shelley. He's had laid a couple of good tackles early in this game, and it manages to hold the ball up just on this wing position. So it'll be Bailey going up against Shelley. Bailey got the front spot for the Lions. Got the knockdown. That was okay. The kick goes by Murphy. It was half smothered. They're going to go backwards now to Black. He broke one tackle. He kicks it up towards the centre half forward line. It was a good looking kick too. O'Keefe was there. It went straight through the arms of Curry. There was two of them there. They might be able to raffle it now. Players inside forward 50. All alone is Luke Gordon. And he takes a mark. He plays on. The umpire said he threw it in the end. He said play on. Kick out of by James. Out of that danger zone, but it's kick to kick here. They're going back inside forward 50, the Lions, and into the forward pocket, and taking a good mark is, well, I can't quite see down there.
Bailey, I think it is.
It's definitely not Bailey. He's a big ruckman. So, player in the forward pocket on the far side. It could be Shane Powell. So, from about 40 metres out from goal, Powell. Difficult shot here, but it goes across the ground. He uses the wind to his advantage. It's a good-looking kick off the boot. I reckon he might have put this one through, Powell. He has. The Eastern Lions have hit the lead for the first time this afternoon on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They're straight kicking too. They move to 3 goals, 1-19. It's a 3-point ball game now with the Park Orchard side 2-4-16.
Boundary.
Earlier this quarter, Park Orchards aren't being able to run that ball out of the Eastern Lions forward line like they were in the first quarter. The Eastern Lions have actually been playing a little bit smarter footy. They're actually pushing their loose men up forward onto the centre wing, which means that every time they're able to turn the ball over, instead of being across half back, it's across the centre line. They're able to put the ball straight back into their defensive 50 again.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Billy Vickers.
Just wanted to let you know, boys, I'm thinking the wind's having a fair bit of influence in this contest now. Seems to be with using the wind for that shot at goal there, and just coming out of the defensive 50, it seems a little bit harder for the Park Orchids team.
Brasher had a shot in the forward pocket, but just kicked it to the near side. So, very close game here. It'll be Hall to bring it in once again. Doesn't have too much on, though. Seem to be a lot that way at the moment. Just has to go long down the centre of the ground. Numbers form, trying to take the mark. There was Devonish. Ball's going to come out the back and it's going to head inside 50. Trying to take the mark for Park Orchards. In defence was Byrne. Now, handball out from Battistella over the top. Eastern Lions numbers, well done there by O'Leary. Did well to put some pressure on Lions numbers again. Handball out came from Black. Kick it, goal is off to the left-hand side from Luke Gordon. One behind, it is the Eastern Lions 3-2-20, Park Orchards 2-5-17.
Let's go through some scores from Division 2. Doncaster East 4-3-27, lead Upper Ferntree Gully 2-2-14. Bayswater 4-6-30, lead Donvale 2-3-15. Woorolbark 4-2-26, lead Montrose 1-3-9. Bit of an upset there. North Ringwood 4-5-29, lead Mulgrave 2-2-14. And Croydon have got the jump on Waverley 6-5-41 Croydon. Waverley Blues 1-2-8.
Battistella brought the ball back in, but it was trapped out there by O'Keefe. Kept the ball inside for the Lions, but it'll be the Sharks through Adam Gamble to get out of that defensive zone, receiving a free kick. They'll cross the half-back line. Park Orchards yet to kick a goal in this second term. We've almost crossed 17 minutes now.
He's been good, Jamie Devonish.
He's been super. The general, who leads from the front, always kicks into the middle of the ground, finds Murphy. They're quick to get this ball moving on. It'll go towards the Bailey direction. Went for the 1-2. Now the Lions surge the ball up towards the half-forward line. The player after that time was Camboris, fisted over his head. It's still 20 metres out from goal. Snap around the body by Rod Church. He's been waiting to get amongst to Rod Church, and he finally gets his first goal of the afternoon. And the Eastern Lions have started very well in this second term. They've continued on, and they've kicked their 4th goal of the game on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's out to a decent lead now, Pete.
Yeah, what I liked then from that bit of play from Rod Church is he came out, he attacked the ball with a lot of vigour, but he was able to keep the ball in front of the contest, tap it to his own advantage, and then just put the ball under the boot. Miraculous over-the-shoulder goal from Church.
Doncaster 2-4-16, lead Glen Waverley Hawks 2-2-14. Tight start between Ringwood and Heathmont 4-4-28, Heathmont 4 straight 24. Mitcham 6-5-41, lead the Wild Horse Pioneers 3 straight 18. Half time in Wantirna South Boronia, that game's a little bit early. 7-9-51 Wantirna South, Boronia 5-10-20. Templestowe 9, lead Churnside Park 7. And the Basin trail Warrandyte 4-2-26 the Bears, Warrandyte 5-3-33.
My man Bailey won the tab again, but it's come straight out to Hall. He heads inside 50, got a man in Curry, finds him a very nice kick, Peter Baird. He might have a chance with the wind to kick on the far side of the ground.
Have a shot.
You'd think so. He's got that wind with him. Doesn't muck around though. On his way in, players to the far pocket, launching. Yeah, that's where he's gone. Not a shot goal. Oh, great lead up, and Mark might, or a free kick to Rod Church. Leading out, got his arms nice and high, and chopping the arms, free kick.
Yeah, that was a smart kick. Put it to the top of the goal square to the hot spot. Church came out, strong hands, drew the free kick.
Well, not only can he snap over his shoulder, he can kick from a set shot as well. And now, very nice goal from Rod Church. It is the Eastern Lions 5-2-32 to the Park Orchards 2-5-17 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
I reckon Peter Nicholson has to try something different here. The Eastern Lions have looked really good in the last 10 minutes. They've been able to press their loose man up into a really offensive position across the centre of the ground. The Park Orchards loose men, they're having to flood back to the last line of defence, and they're not getting that run and drive out of defence they had in the first quarter. I reckon it's now time for the game of chess, where Peter Nicholson has to make that decision. Okay, it's not working for us. We need to go and man up that loose man in defence from the Eastern Lions and try and spread this game open a bit and try and create a bit of run and carry.
Some second quarter stats thanks to Choose Tap with Will Taylor.
Eastern Lions dominating this quarter, 17-9 inside forward 50s to the Eastern Lions. The clearance is 5-4 in favour of the Eastern Lions. The marks inside forward 50 is now 4-0 in favour of the Eastern Lions, and the marks inside defensive 50, Eastern Lions 5-1.
15-point margin we have out here now. So how quickly the tide turns. Ball's back in the middle of the ground. We have had one bounce since that last bit of play. The umpire to restart it now. Clearance or free kick, it might be paid here to Park Orchards, and it will in the middle. So it'll go the way of Ben Hyde, or Hydes, I should say. Floating kick up towards a half-forward line now as a 2-on-1 situation. Charging the pack in there was Turner. He got gang tackle. That was a good bit of play by Mitchell. Just put his body on the line like a block. It was Tom Fair, in fact, and we'll have a bounce about 50 metres out from goal. It's down Park Orchards end. They're looking for their first major of the second term, and they might get a go here with Bahajar running onto it. Gets a handball in towards the goal square. They might be able to get a snap on goal here. That's a good-looking kick by Pollard. Doesn't have the legs right on the goal line here. They might be able to rush it through and kick off the ground there by Christian Fair. He's trying to claim it. The umpire said it was touch. In fact, they're conversing. It might be a goal. I think it is to Park Orchards. Fantastic bit of play there. And Christian Fair on the goal line. Goes in and puts boot to ball, Pete. So good bit of play there. They kept up with it. It could have been rushed through quite easily, but the pressure was there by the Park Orchards forwards.
Yeah, the ball just fell in the right position then for Hare to get it off the ground, but it was scrambly play. I don't like that style of footy from Park Orchards. They're a fast breaking team that like to run and carry. This has really been played in the terms of the Eastern Lions at the moment. I don't think Robbie Crest will be too disappointed with the way the game's panning out right at the moment.
Shelley and Cowan go up, and it comes for Cowan. Trying to pick up the ball there was Murphy. Couldn't do much, but they've got the numbers. It was Cowan there. Kick out. Good mark taken. 70 out from goal by Powell. Kick inside 50. Doesn't muck around. Would have been pushing the back play on. Trying to get it out was Luke Turner for the Sharks. Players scrambling. 30 out from goal. Trying to pick it up was Scanlon. Kick out of the pack there came from Bahagia. Sorry, in fact it was Brooks. Out in front of goal. Trying to snap around the body was O'Keefe. Couldn't do much. It will spill out of bounds. No, it's a free kick. In fact, it will go the way of
Is that Eastern Lions?
the Eastern Lions. Thank you. It will go the way of O'Keefe. Tucked up against the pocket. You'd think would have to play on here. Only probably 15 out. Looking in board. Does play on though. Snap on the right. It's not bad. The crowd like it. It's a goal. James O'Keefe with a very nice goal for the Eastern Lions. Gets their lead back out to more than 2 goals. They are 6-38. Park Orchards are 3-5-23 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Pete.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dynamic player there, O'Keefe. He's done some really classy things at times. Just needs to make sure that he concentrates on the basics as well. It's very well to do the flashy things, but a couple of times he's been caught holding the ball. Just needs to look for that best option, but then just showing he's all class, able to put the ball onto the boot from deep in that forward pocket, ran around, improved the angle, straight through the middle. Another goal to the Eastern Lions.
Well, it was a good answer by the Lions too. So the ball's back in the middle. It'll be Cowan versus Shelley. Shelley got the knockdown that time, straight into the arms of the Eastern Lions midfielder in Bailey, and we'll have another bounce. It's pushed forward. So just inside the centre square. They go at it again. Cowan got a good knockout straight into the arms of Coughlin. He was dispossessed, came out the way of Ben Hyde, banged it on his boot, kicked it out towards the half-forward line. Standing strong was David Mitchell. So he'll keep the ball moving relatively quickly. It was intended for Hamilton, but it was chopped off nicely by Tom Fair. Kicks the ball inside forward 50, looking for his target in Troy Walkley, who's drifted down to the forward line. And we'll have a boundary throw in about 25 metres out. Ben Waterworth around the ground.
Division 4 South Belgrave 139, Trail Sylvan 2517, Canterbury 2 straight 12, Trail Forest Hill 5232, Kilsyth 4428, lead Nunawading 4226, and it's all tied up between Coldstream and Ferntree Gully 3321 apiece.
So Walkley had the front spot, it came over his head. Mitchell trying to clear the ball out, they do so now. Kick up towards the wing position, bouncing footy. Coughlin's there, O'Keefe is charging after it too. Jared Byrne came in to lend some support to Coughlin. Coughlin got the handball over the top, that was a good little bit of play. The pressure's immense here as they drift the ball up towards the wing position. Sebastian Shelley kicks the ball right underneath that Bendigo Bank scoreboard, the 15-point margin. So Tom Fair, who's been pretty good today, Pete, presenting well, getting a bit of the ball as well, kicks the ball inside forward 50. They've got to stand strong here, and they do, but it's in the way of Jamie Devenish, the captain, who was the first man at the front of the pack, and he had some good jukes, so he was managed to pull that one down. So filling a hole nicely this afternoon, Jamie Devenish across that half-back line, kicks it up towards the Cowan direction. He had to fly from behind. It came out to Brooks on hands and knees, stolen by Coughlin. He's been good too. The kick up towards a half-forward line. Inside forward 50, Devenish somehow scrambled a kick, got it across to his teammate in there in Murphy. The ball now up towards the half forward line, getting down low. Corey James takes a good mark, the big man, and he'll look to move the ball on quickly. Wing position now, Sun looking to be getting in the eyes of Greg Pollard, but he wants to move the ball on quickly. That was a good bit of play. The ball just at the last moment spilled out of the hands. Want came in to lend some support. That was okay with Hamilton, but they're going to charge away now. Coughlin, I said he's been good. He charges towards goal and he kicks it to the goal line. Maybe a little bit of holding back there. Dressing will be asking for it, but the ball goes through for one behind. So on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Park Orchards move to 3 goals, 7-25. They're still trailing the Eastern Lions, who are 6-2-38 as we cross down boundary side, thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Billy Vickers.
Boys, I've just seen Rob Crescas, the captain coach of the Eastern Lions. He's just come on back onto the ground, but he's got a bit of a severe limp, and he's just signalled to the bench that he's in a bit of pain, so we'll have to see how he goes running out the rest of this game.
Hall brought it back in, tried to find Rankin, but it spilled out of bounds. 30 around from the Park Orchard, from the Park Orchards goal. Want got it out, and they're away now. Had a chance to go to Powell, chose to ignore him. Now they're away. Giannopoulos was there, laying a tackle. Could have been a free kick, might have been a throw. Park Orchard's right in front of our broadcast position. Ball the way through Jared Byrne, trying to take the mark was Want. It spills out of bounds, right in the centre of the ground. We've played 25 minutes here in the second term, and it is the Eastern Lions by 14 points. Go up in the ruck here will be Cowan. He won the tap. Came to ground trying to get there was Gordon. Couldn't do much. Kick up trying to find Powell. Good mark taken.
Great mark.
Handball off. They're away now inside 50. Big kick from McElroy. High ball numbers. A good mark taken and a strong mark from Church. He shouldn't have any trouble going back, but just bullied his opponent out of that one.
Safe as a Church on fire, then Braden.
No. So maybe spare us of those if they're going to be like that. Pete on his way in. Church looks all right, but it's to the right-hand side. Probably should have kicked that as well. We've played 26 minutes in the second term. It's the Lions 6-3-39 to Park Orchards 3-6-24.
He'll be disappointed with that, Peter Baird. He's presented really well in this second term. Rod Church kicked a couple of goals, and that would have been normally bread and butter for the big man.
Oh, that's a goal that should have been kicked for the Eastern Lions. He'll be gutted by that. It was a good, strong mark, but that job's only half done. You've got to go back and kick the goal.
So deep into time on, it's a lot longer quarter than what we dealt with in the first term.
Making up for that lost time.
So leave your dad jokes at home, Peter Bear. As the play comes back in now, Battistella kicked it to himself and then drove the ball out of the defensive zone. But a wall of Eastern Lions players were there to chop it off. Now the kick goes nearly backwards to go forwards, but why wouldn't you kick it towards Jason Wanu? Gets down low and then he takes off. Kicks the ball inside forward 50, looking for his teammate in Cam Boris. Wanted the ball just to fall for him. It was fisted away by Luke Griffiths, who did not want a bar of that ball staying in. And we'll have a boundary throw in just outside the broadcast position here, about 45 metres out from the Eastern Lions goals. They currently lead it by 15 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. This is EFL Gameday Division 4 at its best. The umpire brings the ball back in now. There's about 20 players form around this pack. They might get out of this. The handball by Fraser went into no man's land, but his Park Orchards teammate in Adam Gamba was being held off the ball and he receives a free kick. So they might just hold play up here. Kick goes up towards the wing position. It was looking for Tom Fair on hands and knees. He needs some support there by James. He's just standing over the ball. Getting down low was Grant Murphy for the Lions, and we'll have a bounce. So almost at the end of this first half out here, EFL Gameday. Going up that time was Bailey, had a bit of a fresh air shot. Good play by Walkley to get the handball away. Somehow Tom Fair got a boot to ball. Gained a valuable 20 metres or so. Well, Murphy was met very heavily over the boundary line and out of bounds, and he'll receive a free kick. That was a little bit harsh by Sam Scanlon, Bertie.
Yeah, the undiscipline wasn't needed then. I could have just let the ball go out, but unfortunately went on with the job. Gave away the free kick here, and the Lions are going to bring it back the other way.
Well, the leads are on across the half-forward line, and they're off now. The Lions inside forward 50. Who's going to go after this one? Charging out was Church. He couldn't quite trap the ball. Pollard's in there for the Sharks. Got support there. Linking handballs to Byrne. He couldn't quite trap it or get boot to ball. The pressure, as I said, is immense. The handball over the top. Kreskis is in there. They're going to somehow get boot to ball here. Well done by Darren Murphy on the left boot. Up towards the forward pocket. They might be able to scramble somehow. A goal. Who's kicked this one? Gordon. That is fantastic by Gordon. Left boot goal. And from the forward pocket, the Eastern Lions in junk time. The Sharks won't be happy about that. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they move on to a healthy 21-point lead now, Pete.
Yeah, the Eastern Lions have been peppering away, and it's been a change-up in style that they've played. They've given up that game of the overusing the handball. They've been much more direct. They're able to move the ball inside that forward 50-metre arc a lot quicker. It catches the Park Orchards defender who's trying to fight back as a loose man out, and it's worked beautifully for the Eastern Lions this quarter.
Pete, for mine at the moment, they just can't seem to get it outside the zone, Park Orchards.
Yeah, it's because the Eastern Lions loose man's pushing up to the centre wing area, so every time they run it out, they're kicking into a wall of Eastern Lions players. It's not working for Peter Nicholson. He has to man that loose man up.
Need a clearance here. Do Park Orchards haven't been able to do much. Hold off the ball there was Brooks. That is the half-time siren, and it is a 21-point lead to the Eastern Lions.
No, I think it could quite possibly could be a little bit more. No, you are correct. 7-3, 45 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Thanks for throwing me right in the deep end there, Braden Ingram. I thought you were going to go through those scores there. 3 goals, 6-24 is the Park Orchards Football Club. Great second quarter there by the Lions. They're back on their home turf for the first time in over 12 months right here on EFL Game Day. Division 4 action happening out here, but there's plenty else happening in 3, 2 and 1 around the grounds. We'll be back with Ben Waterworth with some around the ground scores, and of course Clint Stanaway right after this.
Had an accident on the field? Head straight to Ikira Urgent Care for immediate medical treatment, and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, we'll treat your broken bones, sprains, strains, cuts, or any other game day injuries. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Boronia, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Ikira Urgent Care. We have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a race tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For all things EFL, The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Archer. And welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league B&F, our B&F.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wines going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Radio Eastern 98.1, 10 after 3. This is Barry Cox back in the studio, and a very pleasant 19 degrees in Melbourne's outer east. Plenty of sunshine. It's good to see. Let's check some AFL scores, and we have a halftime score at the game between Hawthorn and Fremantle down there at Aurora Stadium in Launceston, and at half-time it's Hawthorn 10-4-64, leading Fremantle 5-4-34. Major goal kickers for Hawthorn, Rioli has 3, Roughhead 2 and Birchall 1, and for Fremantle, Bradley has 2, Crowley and Main have 1 each. Now the other game is at the MCG, of course, and the big game, Richmond and Collingwood. It's the 25-minute mark of the second quarter, very close game indeed, nip and tuck. But currently it's Collingwood 5-8-38 is leading Richmond at 5-5-35. So a 3-point lead to Collingwood coming up to half-time. T&B Discount Window Warehouse is having a relocation sale not to be missed on Saturday the 4th of May. Hundreds of windows and doors will be for sale with prices starting at $80. Finish those renovations before winter kicks in. You'd be crazy to miss it. Head down to Unit 4, 116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth between 8am and 1pm Saturday week, or phone them on 1300 075 038. That's 1300 075 038. T&B Discount Window Warehouse, part of the AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transport.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, half-time here out at Fairpark Reserve, and we have a cracker of a game here. It's the Eastern Lions 7-3-45 to Park Orchards 3-6-24, 21 points to margin. Great quarter by the Lions. They kicked 6 goals to 1 in that term, and they are back at Fairpark Reserve and loving it. One other half-time score I should say, is the Waverley Blues and Croydon. Now, the Blues of the Croydon variety are having a day out. 9-11-65 to the Waverley Blues 1-2-8. The Croydon is all over the Waverley Blues at the moment. And, of course, in Wantirna South and Boronia. That game's half an hour early because there's a Vets game starting at 4:30. Wanty South, a 7-9-51, leading Boronia 5-10-40. So 11 points is the margin there. Now, Will Taylor, some stats that matter from Choose Tap. We're about to cross, I think, to Clint Stanaway in the 9 News office. But let's have some Choose Tap stats to start off with.
Yeah, Eastern Lions dominated that second quarter in the stats all round. Inside forward 50s, 23-15 in that second quarter, but Park Orchard still lead 32-31. Inside forward 50s, the clearances 9-8 in favour of Eastern Lions in that quarter. Park Orchard still lead overall 18-14 in the clearances. Marks inside forward 50, 5-0 in favour of the Eastern Lions to make it 5-2 overall to the Lions. Inside forward 50, inside defensive 50, 12-2 overall to the Eastern Lions, 7-1 in that quarter. Turnovers 41-35 in favour of the Eastern Lions overall, 22-21 in that second quarter. The free kick count 10-9 in favour of Park Orchards in that quarter. In that overall 6-4 in that quarter, and the tackle count 22-15 in that quarter in favour of Park Orchards, 39-21 overall.
Great work, Will Taylor. All thanks to Choose Tab. Yarra Valley Waters, ripping supporters of the Eastern Football League as always. 7-3-45 the Lions lead Park Orchards. They are 3-6-24. Just repeating those other halftime scores that we've got. We are a long way ahead of everyone else at the moment. Wantirna South 7-9-51. Lead Boronia 5-10-40. So the Devils in front there by 11 points. And while maybe a mini upset going on at the moment, it's a big lead nonetheless. Croydon 9-11-65, leading the Waverley Blues 1-2-8. 57 points to the margin. Sam Gaston doing a very nice job of helping me out around the grounds. We'll bring those scores to you as they all come to hand. But we will go through some quarter-time scores because we're just working on getting 9 News presenter Clint Stanaway up in quarter-time scores. I can go through a couple of those as we're waiting for more scores to come through. South Belgrave led trailing Sylvan, I should say. Sylvan 17 to South Belgrave 9. Forest Hill led Canterbury by 20 points at quarter time. Kilsyth led Nunawading by 2 points, and it was all tied up between Coldstream and Ferntree Gully, 21 apiece. Wantirna South 50 as we just went through at halftime. Wantirna South 51 led Boronia 40. Templestowe led Churnside Park 9-7. The Warrandyte Footy Club led the Basin by 7 points. And in the other Division 3 games, Doncaster led Glen Waverley by 2 points. Ringwood led Heathmont by 4 points. Mitcham led the Whitehorse Pioneers, if I just do some maths at the top of my head, by 23 points. And in Division 2, North Ringwood 29 led Mulgrave 14. As we said beforehand, Croydon lead the Waverley Blues by 57 points at the moment. In other Division 2 games, Doncaster East leading Upper Ferntree Gully by 13 points. Donvale 2-3-15 lead Bayswater 4-6-30. And Mooroolbark and Montrose 4-2-26 the Mustangs. Montrose 1-3-9. We had an update score from Riley Beveridge. That was a lot closer than last time. So I think it was about 2 point margin the Mustangs led by. Just had a score there through from East Ringwood as well. East Ringwood at the moment lead 5-10-40 to Norwood 5-7-37. So nice work there. And in another game, North Ringwood 6-11-47 have still got the mini jump on Mulgrave 4-6-30. So some nice stuff coming through from all the clubs. Thanks for testing us through right here at the EFL Game Day Caravan. Quite windy outside. Just things going capitulating everywhere here in the EFL Game Day Caravan. But we'll try and bring you some more around the grand scores and Clint Stanaway very soon. In fact, we might even cross to Clint Stanaway right now to find out what's making news around the world. And as he does every single week, they happy to have the 9 News sports reporter at 6 p.m. all on board here on EFL Game Day. Clint Stanaway, good afternoon to you, sir. And yes, I'm going well, Clint. Nice to hear from you as well. Just we've got another score through as we try and get through to Clint. Knox 6-5-41, leading East Burwood 2-2-14. So nice work there by the Falcons. They're doing some good work at the moment. They struggled with injuries, I know, at the end of last week, but they're doing okay at the moment. So just going through some other scores at the moment. As I said beforehand, Knox leading 41-14. East Ringwood 40, lead Norwood 37. In Division 2, Mulgrave 4-6-30. Trail North Ringwood 6-11-47. Croydon 9-11-65 to the Waverley Blues 1-2-8. Out at Wantirna South there at Walker Reserve, the only other score we have, 7-9-51. Lead Boronia 5-10-40, and the Eastern Lions 7-3-45. Lead Park Orchards 3-6-24. That is, of course, the game we're covering right here on EFL Game Day. Hope you're enjoying this coverage wherever you're listening on 98.1 FM, or of course streaming through efl.org.au. Of course, it's all brought to you today by the EFL mobile web app. Got another score coming through at the moment. South Belgrave have got the jump on Sylvan. They had a great quarter in that term. Looks like they've kicked 5-1. South Belgrave 6-6-42. Leads Sylvan 2-8-20 at 6-6-40. Just repeating, 6-6-42 to Sylvan 2-8-20. So 22 points is the margin at the moment between those two sides. So working on just getting Clint Stanaway up on the line at the moment. East Burwood, just repeating, lead Knox 2-2-14. Sorry, not East Burwood is 2-2-14, leading Knox 6-5-41. Interesting result there because two teams you'd think of a similar standard at the moment. In other Division 1 games, it was East Ringwood at halftime. They've really got the jump here on Norwood. 5-10-40 is East Ringwood. They lead Norwood 5-7-37. That game is out at East Ringwood Reserve. So we'll watch that one with interest because Norwood went into that game definitely as hot favourites. So we'll keep our eyes across that one. Just got another score coming through here. Riley Beveridge is out at half-time out there at Mooroolbark and Montrose. And Mooroolbark are 7-7-49 to Montrose 6-4-40. So they currently lead by 9 points to the Mustangs. That's a cracker of a game. We'll see if we can chat to Riley Beveridge in a tick. But let's try Clint Stanaway again, who's out there at the 9 News studios in Docklands. Hello, Clint. No luck. So we just got a score through from the Basin. 9-3-57 to Warrandyte 6-5-41. So the Basin have really come back in that term to take the lead over Warrandyte. So nice work there. And just repeating, Mooroolbark 7-7 6.49. Leading Montrose at the moment, 6.440. Not having any luck with the Bluetooth technology at the moment, so we'll see if we can get to Clint Stanaway or some of our around the ground reporters very soon. But Will Taylor, if you don't mind, just running through some of the stats that matter thanks to Choose Tap in that first term. First half, I should say. Some of the stats that matter, all thanks to Yarra Valley Water. Be smart, Choose Tap.
Yeah, inside forward 50s, Park Orchards 32 to Eastern Lions 31. The clearances, Park Orchards 18 to Eastern Lions 14. The marks inside forward 55 to 2 in favour of the Eastern Lions, including a 5-0 in that second quarter. The marks inside defensive 50, 12 to 2 in favour of the Eastern Lions, 7-1 in that quarter. Turnovers 41 to 35 in favour of the Eastern Lions. The free kick count 10 to 9 in favour of Park Orchards, 6 to 4 in that quarter. And the tackle count at the moment 39 to 21 in favour of Park Orchards over the Eastern Lions. And just Benny on the East Ringwood score against Nord, I'm not surprised Eastern Lions actually, East Ringwood's in front, because I watched them last week against Balwyn, and they definitely jumped out of the blocks. It'll be interesting how they go in the second half.
Yeah, good stuff, Wilbur. All thanks to Choose Tap, Yarra Valley Water. Be smart, Choose Tap. Always great supporters of the Eastern Football League. Now, what a score this one is we've just seen come through. Heathmont 8-4-52. Currently lead Ringwood 6-6-42. Gee, the Jets have come to play. That's an amazing scoreline. Just got some more scores coming through here on the phone. We've got the Bluetooth working. There we go. We've got Clint Stanaway from 9 News on the line. Hello, Clint.
Ben, g'day. It took us 5 goes last week. It only took us 3 this week.
Nice. Great stuff, mate. What's making news around the world on what'll be in the headlines on 9 News? A big day in Boston, obviously.
A huge day, and it's headlined by that story indeed. We've got an extended 1-hour edition of 9 News tonight with Alicia Loxley. Much of the focus, of course, on America, where there's been more incredible scenes there in Boston. The city, as we all know, has been in lockdown for the past day as police hunted the second bombing suspect. He was actually found hiding in a boat, can you believe, and was taken away by ambulance. His arrest met with cheers from relieved residents. All of this after his brother, also a suspect, was shot dead in a gunfight with police. Also tonight at 6, the Melbourne Footy Club under siege after being dragged into footy's supplement saga. Now, I was down at D's training this morning. We spoke with skipper Jack Tringove and also Neil Craig over Stephen Dank's alleged links with the club. All of this, of course, as the embattled club prepare for a must-win match tomorrow against the Giants. Huge crowd there at the MCG, I'm sure. And Ben, you'll be happy to know the beard has gone. Jack Watts is clean-shaven and ready to prove his doubters wrong. Also at 6, Black Caviar has bid farewell to Victorian race fans. She paraded for thousands at Caulfield. The Hawks by 5 goals early in the second half against Fremantle. Ryan Schoenmakers, though, off with what appears to be a very serious knee injury. Richmond, the Tigers are up at half-time over Collingwood. And also in sport, a bit of a cricket shock tonight. Shane Watson has stepped down as vice-captain, declaring he wants to focus on scoring runs, and fair enough too, ahead of the Ashes.
Great stuff, Clint. Was listening to watching Denham Hitchcock's great reporting from Boston today. 9 News was all over it and proving once again that they are the best in the business. Look forward to seeing you on our TV screens later tonight.
Thanks, Ben.
There it is, Clint Stanaway from 9 News joining us. Eastern Lions are back out on the field. What we might do is we might cross back to the Radio Eastern studios and we'll clear a few sponsor commitments and we'll come back with second half action. The Eastern Lions are back on the field, as I said. The Park Orchard side are preparing to come back. We'll come back with more around the ground scores and plenty more action here from Fairpark Reserve right after the break here on EFL Gameday.
Had an accident on the field? Head straight to Ikira Urgent Care for immediate medical treatment, and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, we'll treat your broken bones, sprains, strains, cuts, or any other game day injuries. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Boronia, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Ikira Urgent Care. We have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
for all things EFL, The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Archer, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league B&F, our B&F.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Radio Eastern 98.1. Barry Cott's back in the studio. A quick AFL score at 25 after 3, and the game at Richmond Collingwood at the MCG. It's half time, and it's Richmond 6-5-41 leading Collingwood 5-8-38. Magic goal kickers for Richmond. Vickery has 2, Edwards and King 1 each, and for Collingwood, Cloak has 2, Sidebottom also has 2, and Clark also has 1. And the halftime score down at Aurora Stadium in Tasmania was Hawthorn 10-4-64, leading Fremantle 5-4-34. C&B Discount Window Warehouse is having a relocations windows and doors with a sale with prices starting at $80. Finish those renovations before winter kicks in. You'll be crazy to miss it. Head down to Unit 4, 116-118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Saturday week, or phone them on 1300 075 038. 1300 075 038. T&B Discount Window Warehouse, part of the AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transport.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, game's about to start here. That third term, the third term is about to get set underway. Our game is well and truly ahead of many others around the EFL at the moment. So I'll try and bring you as many scores as I can. I'll bring you up to date with a couple in Division 1. Lilydale 2-12-24, trailing Roval 4-6-30. Scoresby and South Croydon. I've got a couple of conflicting scores. One says South Croydon by 3 points. One says they're all level up. And Vermont lead Balwyn 59-53. He's BWS.
21-point margin to the Lions, and they get the first clearance out as well. That was Giannopoulos who trapped it across the half-forward line. O'Keefe inside forward 50, coming out and meeting it this time. They get a short little pass over Temple. The kick was half smothered. Still a hot footy, goes after it again, does Temple. Charging through there was Brooks, got the handball over the top, looking for O'Keefe. It was well chopped off there by Battistella. He tries to clear it out of the danger zone, got it away to Hayde. A series of handballs now finds Park Orchards across the half-back line, and they're going along towards the wing position now. Just underneath that Bendigo Bank scoreboard that shows 21-point lead to the Lions. Going in hard was McElroy. That was a good bit of play. The umpire letting this ball go. Snapped around the body by Brooks up towards the half-forward line. They might have the numbers here. The Sharks charging through. Battistella's been great this afternoon. Might go for the 1-2. It eventually lands in the arms of Christian Fair. Gets it across to Pollard. Arches the back, then has a bounce. He goes up towards the wing position. Kicks inside forward 50 now. The kick wasn't too crash hot though, because Jimmy Hall cuts across for the Lions and takes a good mark. Just in the defensive zone. Devonish calling for it out wide. Elects to go up towards the wing position. It was a 3-on-1 situation. In the end, but charging through over the back was Brooks. Got the handball away, and now the Lions kick it up towards their half-forward line. Bouncing footy, beats all players. On hands and knees, Battistella got the handball away. The Sharks into the middle of the ground, and a good mark taken by Luke Turner. He wastes no time, tries to switch the play across to Adam Gamble. Takes a mark. They've still got players running. Gamble wastes no time himself. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line. It was a beautiful pass too. Sam Scanlon dropped what he should have taken. Fumbled it over the boundary line and out of bounds. So still a 21-point margin here. Gone almost 2 minutes in the Premiership quarter. This is EFL Game Day, Division 4 at its best. Walkley got the knockdown that time straight into the arms of Scanlon, banged it on his boot and kicked it out of bounds on the full. So a little bit of wasted possession there, Peter Bear. How did you see that first half?
Yeah, I thought it was a real game of two halves. In the first quarter, I thought Park Orchards had the better of the play. Eastern Lions really dictated in that quarter, though, the second term. So it's going to be really interesting to see if Park Orchards has got the answer to switch it up in this third term.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Billy Vickers.
Just some quick news to start the second half, boys. Rob Crescas, captain coach, he's got the tracksuit on. He's not going to take any more part in the rest of the game.
Eastern Lions got it now through Black, close to the boundary line. Lose possession, trying to pick it up there was Pollard. Couldn't. He's tackled without the footy. In fact, it is Walkley. Players all over him. Eventually a handball out there, away now through Temple to the top of the square. It's a little further out. Couldn't take the mark. Still attacking here, but got away with it, and Church couldn't do much. Away on the wing Bouncing footy. Trying to pick it up there was Murphy. Couldn't do what he wanted to. Now the Park Orchards are away through Pollard on the far wing in front of our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders. Ball out of bounds. And as a matter of fact, I think they might be down to 2 because I saw Peter Giannopoulos with ice on his left ankle at half-time. So they could really be struggling going into this second half. They had a great second quarter, 6 goals to 1 Eastern Lions. Ball fell back into play. Won the tap there, did Cowan. Now they're away. Along the wing, got time. Couldn't do much of it, but it's a long kick. Trying to take the mark there was Coughlin. Under pressure, tackled out the footy. Umpire says play on. Trying to pick it up there was Turner of the Luke variety. Now they're away. Along the wing, looked like he was trying to find Gamble. Couldn't. Eastern Lions go back in through Jason Wan. He's had plenty of it this afternoon. Couldn't take the mark there was Rod Church. He's been good as well. Tackle on the 50 will be a ball up in front of goal for the Eastern Lions.
That'll make Rob Crescas really happy. That was one of his messages to his players at halftime. He really wanted them to maintain that forward 50-metre pressure and that tackling pressure when they get the ball deep inside. So looks like they've continued that in the third quarter.
Looks like we've got a blood rule. Perfect time to go around the grounds with Ben Waterworth.
Yes. Doncaster East 10-5-65 lead Upper Ferntree Gully 10-3-63. Mooroolbark 7-7-49 lead Montrose 6-4-40. Mulgrave 4-6-30. Trail North Ringwood 6-11-47 and Croydon a thumping Waverley Blues. Croydon 9-11-65 to the Waverley Blues, a hapless 1-2-8.
Oh, players back on, so we're good to go. Ball up, both players missed it, comes to ground. Trying to pick it up there was Power, couldn't do much, still scrambling over it. He wants it, it'll be a free kick, will go the way of Park Orchards, look to be a high tackle. So, and it will go the way of Tom Fair. He heads out to this side of the ground, trying to take the mark, did in the end. Good mark by Adam Gamble. Need a goal here to start the third term here. They're under a bit of pressure here, Park Orchards. Coming out towards our commentary position. It's close to out of bounds on the floor. Just bounced in and then favoured Park Orchards in fair. But the ball eventually rolls out of bounds. Trying to pick it up. There was the captain, Jamie Devonish. Couldn't do much. We'll have a throw-in 60 around for the Park Orchards goal.
Just a couple of Division 4 scores. Forest Hill 10-7-67 lead Canterbury 3-1-19. A good match between Nunawading and Kilsyth. Kilsyth 49 lead Nunawading 47.
Still a 21-point ball game. Cowan has it. Across the half-back line for the Lions. Received a free kick from the throw-in. Short passes on. It's okay. Black. It's been called to play on. Puts himself under a lot of pressure. It was a decent old kick too across the half-forward line now. Coughlin's going to be the first one to meet it for Park Orchards. He arches his back, takes off. Short passes on. Is it good enough for Pollard? He was able to trap it. Got it back to Coughlin. Got the handball across there to Fraser. Goes inside forward 50 now. Hollower might be the target here. Going up and nearly pulling down a ripper. Mark was O'Leary. The umpire says play on. Stacks on the mill. Eventually falls out to Hollower, somehow scrambled a kick. It's only about 30 metres out now. Want dived on the ball. He looked for a free kick. The umpire wasn't willing, and we'll have a bounce about 35 metres out from the goal line.
A lot more run from Park Orchards in this third quarter, though. Something that Peter Nicholson really asked of his team at half-time.
So Jenkins goes up this time, knocked it away. It'll go out towards the want direction. On his hammer was Tom Fair. They've got players around the footy, snap around the body. That is a ripper looking kick too. And the goal's been put through by Sam Fraser for Park Orchards. That's just what they needed. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they moved to 4 goals, 6-30. It's back to 15 points now, Frosty. The Eastern Lions, 7-3-45.
Yeah, that was one of the criticisms that Peter Nicholson had of his team at halftime, that there were too many spectators. He was ruthless in his criticism of some of the guys. He said you need to get involved, you need to provide plenty of run and drive off half-back. They look like they've responded from that. That was a great goal there from Fraser, though. Just got front and centre of the pack. That when they contested the ball, rolled to the front of the pack, they were able to snap truly from 40 out. That's a goal that Park Orchards really needed to stay in touch with the Eastern Lions here at the start of the third term.
Kicking with the wind here, Park Orchards to the right of your radio dial. Need to take advantage, need a few more, still down by about 15 points.
Do you think they need to go in three-quarter time ahead, Pete?
I don't think so. I mean, when you go into a break 21 points down like they were at half-time, they probably just need to narrow that deficit by 2 or 3 goals. Even if they're a goal or 2 behind at three-quarter time, it'll give them some belief. Eastern Lions have a couple of injured players. They may run out of legs. They're a bit heavier in the body than the Park Orchard side are. The Park Orchard side have fancied themselves of being able to run over them in the last quarter if they're close enough at three-quarter time.
Walkley won the tap. A free kick eventually went the way of Luke Turner. Doesn't muck around, just bombs it down the centre. Good mark taken in defence there by Jamie Devonish. the captain. He's been strong down there today. Looked to kick, instead feigned, and now just waiting for an option. Now eventually decides to go long. It's very much, as we said, kick to kick this afternoon. Very windy. Mark taken there away through O'Keefe. He handballs back, finds Curry. He's dipping and diving. Eventually looks for his man in Powell. He got bumped out of it. Park Orchards now lead the chase of the ball, and it's with Pollard. Handball off. Couldn't do much of it. Now they've got a chance to spill the ball. Did Powell to the Eastern Lions. Very scrubby game. No one can seem to take clean possession. Trying to jump in there was Wantirna for Park Orchards. Eventually, the umpire says, come on, boys, let's have a breather. I will ball it up. 60 out from the Eastern Lion goals. The Eastern Lions 7-3-45. Park Orchards 4-6-30 on the Bendigo Bank squad. We've played 8.5 minutes. Bounce down. Park Orchards won the tap. Still scrappy. Eventually a clearing kick. Leading the chase to the ball is Hyde. He eventually gets there, but the ball spills out of bounds in front of our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders.
He's been super though today, Jamie Devonish. The way he's just been able to marshal those troops across half-back, put his body on the contest then, and was able to force the ball out of play. I really like his game.
You're a big fan of him, Pete.
I am.
Walkley won the tap. Players diving in there, and it will be another ball up.
Any more scores around the grounds, Ben?
Oh, there's heaps, and they're all coming in at times they want to come in. Canterbury 3-1-19, Forest Hill 10-7-67, Kilsyth 7-9-51, leading Nunawading 7-5-47, Coldstream 4-5-29, trailing Ferntree Gully 6-3-39.
Fantastic play. Luke Turner charged after the ball. It's across the half-forward line for Park Orchards. They're going to get out of trouble, though. Good kick by Rankin on the left boot. Drives the ball out of the defensive zone. Good taken by Brooks, goes over the top looking for Mitchell. He had running support there. Daniel Black, he arches it back, he takes a bounce, he takes on Luke Turner, left foot kick inside forward 50. It was a bit skew if off the boot, and the mark has been taken at the last line of defence. You see Hollower charging out now, out from the forward line, looking for it to go up for the contested mark. It's going to fall to Brooks, got it across there, that was okay. Powell feigned his opponent off, got the handball away. They're doing okay here, the Sharks, across that half-back line. They look like they're going to clear again. They've got players running along the wing position. The kick goes up towards the half-forward line now. Staying back and taking a strong mark. Nick Cowan is a big presence on the field, and he can definitely cover some ground too. Cowan, risky kick it was by the big man. He's given himself a really big let-off here. Cutting off is Fraser. In fact, it's Ben Hyde, and he fancies himself here. You'll have a look at him. He's straightened himself up quite nicely, and he'll kick only from about 45 metres out to narrow the margin back to 9 points.
Yeah, this is an important kick for the Park Orchard side in the context of this game. Really needs to narrow that margin.
So Hyde comes in now. It's a shank off the boot. It might not even go out of bounds on the full. It does though. And over she goes.
In Division 2, Donny East lead Upper Ferntree Gully 65-63. Bayswater 10-6-66 lead Donvale 5-8-38. Mooralbark 7-7-49 lead Montrose 6-4-40. North Ringwood 6-11-47 lead Mulgrave 4-6-30. Croydon 9-11-65 lead the Waverley Blues 1-2-8.
Well, McElroy's kick went out of bounds on the full. Park Orchards had a chance, and now they've turned it over. O'Keefe in the middle of the ground, stretches a handball to Curry from 55 metres out, kicks it towards the church direction, and he couldn't quite hold the mark. They've got the spoils though. They've got the time. The snap around the body, it was a decent one too. It still didn't make the distance. This wind is playing havoc, and it will be a free kick through the Park Orchards team in the last line of defence. That is a strong breeze. That was only 30 metres out when that ball went to boot. So Park Orchards, who've started this third term okay, we've gone 11.5 minutes. They need to probably put a little bit more score on the board. They have been peppering though. The kick goes up into the middle of the ground, straight through the arms there of McElroy that time, but he does have support around the ball. Picked up by Temple, got the handball away, but put his teammate under a lot of pressure. Fair got the handball out. This is looking promising. Hollower on the left boot. Bouncy ball, and it's gone through for a goal. Park Orchards, that's a contender for goal of the day, and they are coming, the Sharks, on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 12-minute mark. It's back to an 8-point ball game, Peter Baird.
Well, that's one thing you can never doubt about the Park Orchard side. They are very fit, they're young, they're going to run out this game. With the Eastern Lions having a couple of players down, ruled out for the rest of the game from injury, they're going to challenge, and they just need to be close enough at three-quarter time. They've narrowed the margin back now inside 2 goals. If Park Orchards can keep up this intensity and the run through the midfield, they're going to be right in this game come the final siren.
Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Billy Vickers.
Park Orchards are going to be extremely happy with that goal. They need to keep getting him on the board. I can't stress to you enough how this persistent breeze just keeps pushing across the ground.
Well, we're going to cut you off there as Powell gets the answer that the Lions were after. They got the clearance, the Eastern Lions. They charged the ball forward and in the right spot at the right time with the right skills, Peter Baird. Powell gets the quick answer.
Yeah, it's probably the first time today we've seen a goal from direct from a stoppage, centre stoppage. They were able to break free from the centre contest, get the ball down there quickly. Park Orchard is not able to get numbers back, and the ball just dropped nicely from the Eastern Lions play. They just put it through. Eastern Lions have the answers. They're maintaining that lead. They just need to make sure they've got the legs to run out this game.
It was Sean Hamilton who got a brilliant centre clearance, just broke away from all behind him and got the ball down there. Great goal. Needed a quick answer, Eastern Lions. We said, got a reduced bench, only 2 there now, and they're going to need to be smart throughout the rest of the game. 13.5 minutes played, third term. Ball came out, tried to get a kick there. It was Nick Cow in the ruckman, been good today. Ball's going to come to the half-forward flank for the Eastern Lions. They've got numbers, snap around the body from Brooks. Needs it to bounce for him. It's all right. Park Orchard should have the numbers in clear, though, and they do. They head to the far wing. Ball needs to sit for O'Leary. It does eventually, and he beats his man. He's away. Needs a good kick running after the ball. There is Hollower. But they're away now, the Eastern Lions. Handball off. Got a good couple of links there, and they can go. Oh, great tackle, though. Thought they had the pace to get away. They couldn't. Park Orchards took the advantage. Eventually, they got out of the scrap. Might have run themselves into trouble. Going to head up. Looking for Gamble. Came out the back. Trying to take the mark was Walkley. Got to get there, Park Orchard's numbers. Walkley's in there again, as is Gamble, as is Tim Fair, and it'll be a ball up, 20 out, directly in front of the Park Orchard's goal. Another chance, need a strike back here. It's back to a 15-point margin in favour of Eastern Lions on a very windy day. No one really won the tab, it just fell straight to the ground. Can have a clear now through Black. He heads to the far side of the ground, but it's going to come straight back in the form of Ben Hyde. He wheels round onto his right, finds his man in Coughlin. He takes the mark. Just need a lead here. Doesn't look like there's too much space to move into. Plenty of Eastern Lions numbers. Eventually a little chipping kick, a good kick. Tried to find Hollower, couldn't. Numbers though, shot on goal is to the right hand side. Might have been punched through. Jono Dressing had the shot. It's one behind, and it is the Eastern Lions 8-3-51 to the Park Orchard side. Just trying to see
5-7-37, Peter Baird.
Should have done more with that than Jono Dressing. He's one of the more experienced players in that Park Orchards lineup. Really should have known, been able to put that one through from about 30 metres out on a tighter angle, but a player of his experience should have capitalised.
The driving kick by the Lions goes out about 70 metres from goal, and the ball's eventually fisted right into the Caravan of Courage, our broadcast position here.
Almost had the Dukes out there. Just in other scores, Noble Park lead Blackburn by 8 points. Knox lead East Burwood 41-14. East Ringwood by 3 points over Norwood. Roval by a goal over Lilydale. Scoresby and South Croydon. Scoresby lead by 3 points. And Vermont lead Balwyn 59-53.
Well, Temple got the knock down, and then he banged it up towards the half-forward line, but the Sharks charge forward again. They're coming out and taking a really strong mark was Jamie Devnish. Wastes no time. He goes to Mitchell, who switches the play now. That was good. So out wide is Curry. Just pops the ball up into space. The players to run onto it. Intended for Temple out there. The boundary line beats him. Over she goes right underneath that Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Ben.
Division 3, Doncaster have kicked away against Glen Waverley. 59-22 they lead. Heath, one of the big surprises at the moment, lead Ringwood by 11 points. Mitcham lead Wilders Pioneers, who are putting up a fight by 16 points. Three-quarter time between Wantirna South and Boronia, 79-41. The Devils lead that one. All tied up between Templestowe and Churnside Park, 30 apiece. And the Basis and 57 lead Warrandyte, 41.
The ball up towards the half-forward line now. Coming in and taking a strong mark was Christian Fair for Park Orchards. He kicks it up towards the dressing direction. The big man takes the mark, and he nearly could have gone on with it too, but he did have Jamie Devonish, who has a turn of speed about him. But Jono Dressing, he's been in this situation many a times before. He'll fancy himself from here, Pete.
He shouldn't. He should go back and kick this goal. He's a really experienced player, as I said before. Played a lot of footy with the Ringwood Footy Club up in a higher division. Come back to his old home at Park Orchards. Really needs to step up as a leader here and narrow this margin back to within a couple of goals.
So he can bring it back to 8-point series. Yet to trouble the goal scorers this afternoon. Dressing now. It's an ordinary looking kick off the boot. It just holds up in the breeze. It's still a hot footy. Who's going to be able to meet it? Hyde's down there. He's got to put pressure. One's got to break a tackle. He does so now. In fact, he ran over the boundary line and out of bounds. So it's still only about 20 metres out from the Park Orchards goal line. Bit of a shank kick there by Dressing. He'll be disappointed with that one.
Yeah, don't like the back chat as well from dressing to a spectator in the crowd. They need to concentrate on his game.
Certainly does. They've got the clearance though. It's about 40 metres out. Devonish breaks one tackle, breaks two, gets a long leaping handball out wide to Want. He goes into the middle to Curry, and now the line seem to be away. If he can break a tackle, goes back to Want, streaming forward now. That's a good kick up towards the church direction. They might not. The ball just holds up in the breeze. Coughlin's in there, so too Battistella. Coughlin now for the Sharks. He gets it out of that danger zone. Short passes on towards the centre square, trapped in there by Wantirna. He got the handball away. They're charging through the middle of the ground now, the Sharks. The kick goes up towards the Walkley direction. First to meet it, though, will be Devonish. Right on his hammer. Christian Fair puts his body on the line. The umpire calls play on. They wanted to scoop it out. They do so now. Devonish gang tackled by Walkley. The umpire let play go still. It's a hot footy charging through David Mitchell, and eventually the umpires plucked out a free kick. There was a lot of players around this football, and I think it's going to go the way of Park Orchards, Pete.
Yeah, Gareth Bailey just holding on to his man, then in the contest off the ball, and he's given away a free kick. That's a real coach killer, that one. Rob Crescas won't be happy with that at all.
14 points is the margin. It'll be Walkley to come in. We're about 45 or 55 metres out from goal. One step kick, bang, straight over the goal umpire's head for a behind. So I'm thinking, in fact, it was gamble. Is that what you're saying, Braden?
Yeah, that's right.
So a minor score is the result on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They've stretched, well, they've reduced it now to 13 points. 5-8-38. Plays 8 goals, 3-51.
They've had some opportunities this quarter, Park Orchards. They haven't been able to capitalise. There's probably 2 or 3 shots on goal that they really should have kicked here. They could be a lot closer. They could be in front had they been able to kick straight here. A few wasted opportunities would be really hurting the Sharks.
Hall brings it back into the centre of the ground. Need to break the zone here, and it comes to Curry. Handball off. Looks to be to Want. He breaks a tackle. Now holds it up. Handball off. They're away now if they can just find the numbers. They certainly do. Kick through the middle of the ground. Should be a mark taken. No. Comes to ground. 70 out from goal. Trying to get there is James O'Keefe. Eventually ball smothered. Good tackle in the end. Trying to pick one-handed pick up. Let's save that for another day, mate. It's too hard. Park Orchards now on the wing. Numbers again. Trying to sell some candy. Good work. Just needs to get it on the boot. And a good kick. They can move the ball if they're quick. The ball is with Christian Fair. Good kick now. Finds his brother in Tim Fair. Tom, sorry, my bad. The ground, trying to pick it up there is Wantirna. He does, breaks a tackle, has time, and he kicks it to the right-hand side. He had time to straighten up, kick the drop punt. He didn't, and another opportunity goes begging. It's Park Orchards 5-9-39 to the Eastern Lions 8-3-51. 20 minutes played, third term.
Will Taylor, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Yeah, Park Orchards dominating inside forward 50s at the moment, 13-7. The clearances at the moment have even at 8-7 in favour of Park Orchards, and the inside defensive 53-1 in favour of Eastern Lions.
We've crossed time on in this third term, so the umpire's paid a free kick downfield. I think this is from a kick in, Peter Baird.
Yeah, I couldn't actually see what the free kick was for, but it's definitely down the field. The Eastern Lions will take this kick on the defensive forward 50-metre arc and look to bang it forward.
So it's in the arms of Devonish, I think, out there. No, in fact, sorry, it's McElroy. So he kicks up towards the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Over she goes for another stoppage. So a good game out here today. Park Orchards have the breeze. It's a 2-goal ball game.
They'd be a lot happier with their efforts this quarter, BWS. They're really fighting themselves back into the contest.
They certainly are, Pete. As the ball comes in, Murphy went up for the Lions, pushed it about 5 metres forward, leaving it for Rowland. He put a shepherd on for Battistella. Charging through, the umpire will have to come and restart this. Stacks on the mill and we'll have a bounce about 55 metres out from the Eastern Lions goal line.
Just repeating some scores. Noble Park by 8 points over Blackburn. Knox currently lead East Burwood by 27 points. East Ringwood by 3 points over Norwood. Roval by 6 points over Lilydale. Scoresby by 3 points over South Croydon. And Vermont by 6 points over Balwyn.
Well, Coughlin got the clearance, but it's now in the middle of the ground. Trapped in there was Black. He was pinged, but the umpire said it was holding the man in the end. So very, very stiff, I find that, for Park Orchards. I thought that might have been holding the ball, Pete.
Oh, it looked that way to me as well. The umpire's seen it the other way, though. So as soon as that whistle goes, you have to stop and take notice here because they're very lucky not to give away a 25-metre penalty there as well.
Black goes forward in towards the Hamilton direction, straight through the arms of Battistella. Hamilton banged it on the boot up towards the top of the goal square. It's only 20 metres out now. Who's going to mop up? It'll be Shelley, Sebastian Shelley. He's done well today. They drive the ball out looking for Bahaja. Normally plays up forward, but he's gone down back and we'll have a bounce. boundary throw-in. Right underneath that Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it's a 2-point ball game, Division 4 game day.
In Division 2, Donny East by 2 points over Upper Gully, Bayswater by 28 points over Donvale, Mooroolbark by 9 points over Montrose, North Ringwood by 17 points over Mulgrave, and Croydon by 57 points over the Waverley Blues.
Well, Hamilton bust the pack, got it back to O'Keefe, banged it on his boot inside, forward 50. Oh, good, strong mark taken by Coughlin. I've really liked this guy's game today. He's been absolutely super for the Sharks. Trying to lift them from all areas of the ground. So the short pass will be on. Needs to be cute, it is. Goes to Turner. So Turner now, in turn, goes further down the wing, finds Shelley. So cleaner skills here for Park Orchards. As soon as I say that, the kick goes an absolute shank up towards the half-forward line as the siren goes for three-quarter time. Another short quarter out here at Fairpark. It's the return of the Eastern Lions to their home game. Only 23 minutes gone in that term. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at three-quarter time, the home side lead it by 2 goals, 8-3-51. Park Orchards are 5-9-39. Still anybody's game out here on EFL Match of the Day. This is EFL Game Day live on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming on EFL.org.au. Follow the scores at Footy EFL on Twitter, but stay tuned because Ben Waterworth will be back after the break with a lot of halftime scores and maybe some three-quarter time scores. We are an earlier game this afternoon right here on EFL Game Day.
Had an accident on the field? Head straight to Ikira Urgent Care for immediate medical treatment and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, we'll treat your broken bones, sprains, strains, cuts or any other game day injuries. Walk in at 157 Scoresbury Road, Boronia, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Ikira Urgent Care. We have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on EastLink on weekends and public holidays with a car tag. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week. And I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a race tag and use EastLink. Quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. EastLink. It's time better spent.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For all things EFL, The Huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Harcher, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
If it was up to Dino, he's winning the league B&F, our B&F.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
This is Radio East 98.1 EFL Game Day. It's coming up to 8 to 4. Barry Cott's back here in the studio. Let's check a couple of AFL scores. And the game between Hawthorn and Fremantle down in Launceston. It's currently just started a couple of minutes into the third quarter. And it's Hawthorn 13-7-85. League Fremantle 8-8-56. And halfway through the third quarter, it's at the MCG between Collingwood and Richmond. Richmond 6-5-41, trailing Collingwood 9-10-64. T&B Discount Window Warehouse. T&B Discount Window Warehouse is having a relocation sale not to be missed on Saturday the 4th of May. Hundreds of windows and doors will be for sale with prices starting at $80. Finish those renovations before winter kicks in. You'd be crazy to miss it. Head down to Unit 4, 116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. Saturday week. Or phone them on 1-300-075-038. 1-300-075-038. T&B Discount Window Warehouse, part of the AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transport.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, three-quarter time here at Fairpark Reserve. It is the Eastern Lions currently leading this one by 8-3-51, I should say, to the Park Orchard side, 6-3-39. 5-9, sorry, the Park Orchard's huddle is currently blocking me. While you're on a roll again, Will, and correcting me, why don't you correct us with the stats? All thanks to Choose Tap. Yarra Valley Water, be smart, Choose Tap.
Yeah, Park Orchard's dominating that quarter again in the stats, 13-9. in favour of Park Orchards. Inside forward 50s, overall 45-40 in favour of the Eastern Lions. Park Orchards over the Eastern Lions. The clearances were all even at 9 apiece. At the overall, Park Orchards 27-23. Marks inside forward 50 in that term, 2-0 in favour of Park Orchards, 5-4 overall in favour of the Lions. Marks inside defensive 53 apiece in that term, 15-5 overall in favour of the Lions. 18-10 in the turnovers in favour of the Eastern Lions, 59-45 in the game in favour of the Lions. Free kicks 14-12 in favour of Park Orchards, 4-3 in that quarter, and 13-12 in the tackles in favour of the Eastern Lions over Park Orchards, but overall 51-34 in favour of the Sharks. And I'll just give a bit of rundown the goal kickers in this game so far. For the Eastern Lions, 2 goals to Shane Power, Rod Church and James O'Keefe. Singles to Sean Brooks and Luke Gordon. And for the Sharks, Ryan Turner, Christian Farrell, Sam Fisher, and has got 1 goal each, and 2 goals to Leon Herrera with 2 goals.
Thanks, Will. That's Will Taylor on the Choose Tap Stats chair this afternoon. I'll just quickly run through a couple of other scores at half-time. Well, three-quarter time I know in the Wantirna South Boronia game. That game should be actually finishing very soon. Wantirna South 11-13-79. Lead Boronia 5-11-41. That's a 38-point lead. We understand, though, there is a massive 6-goal lead heading towards the end of Boronia going into this term. It feels like a 6-goal win out here. Just got a three-quarter time score through from the Waverley Blues and Croydon as well. And the Waverley Blues, 3-2-20. Croydon, 13-15-93. Let's cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, down the boundary side here with Peter Nicholson, the Sharks coach. Just what was the message to the boys at the three-quarter time break?
Oh, we're getting our hands on the ball enough. Endeavour's good, but we just we don't have the polish on the outside to hit targets and link passages of play together. So if we can hit some targets, we're getting enough of the ball. Our stats, are up on last week. We're getting our hands on it, but just it breaks down when we turn the thing over.
And the wins against you this quarter, how are you going to combat that?
Oh, we just asked for a bit of run, try and get back. Julian Battistella's given us some run off there. Scotty Rowland's gone back there. So, Corey James, we're hoping those guys can run with the assistance to the midfield and work the ball forward. We have to obviously, use the space and run and create to try and get a score into the Breeze.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Great work, Corey Hall. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care with Park Orchards coach Peter Nicholson. So I only got a handful of three-quarter time scores. So we'll keep you up to date as that happens. There's the siren. Fourth quarter action. Eastern Lions and Park Orchards here on EFL Gameday.
2 goals is the margin, and we're away in the final term. The home side lead it. Ball hits the deck right in that middle circle, and we'll have a bounce. Peter Baird, how do you see this last quarter happening?
It's going to be interesting to see if the Eastern Lions can hold on here. They're down on their bench. They've got 2 players that won't take any further part in the game. The Park Orchard side, they're going to be fresh, so they've got plenty of run in their legs. Can they run over the top of the Eastern Lions?
You're picking Park Orchards then, Pete?
No, Eastern Lions should hold on.
Oh, very good. Hamilton charged through the pack. Nearly could have got a free kick, and the Lions go up towards a half-forward line now. Getting back and taking a good mark was Rowland. He put himself in the right spot. Got the handball away now. They kick up towards the wing position. That was okay there by Fraser. Found a teammate in there in Adam Gamble. Opens up the face a little bit and drives the ball long inside forward 50. It's a 2-on-2 situation through the arms there of Hall. Got a handle on it. Dressing got the handball across. They've got players across the forward line 50 here. If they can just raffle it. It comes back out now. Christian Fair snap around the body. This has gone all the way. What a super goal. That is the goal of the day. And that is the goal that Park Orchards were after to start this final term. They've reduced back to a 6-point ball game. Peter Baird, and on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it's the Eastern Lions just leading it by 6 as we cross down boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care. They've got something for us, Billy Vickers.
I've just been over at the Eastern Lions three-quarter huddle, a very animated one at that. The message was, boys, make sure, don't take the win into account, just play, just play.
So, ball up, good start for Park Orchards in the final term. Won the tap was Cowan for the Eastern Lions. Players burying on top of each other. Scrapping handball found. Powell in the end. Ball's going to head forward for Eastern Lions. Roland leads the way. Ball bounces for him. Tries to beat a tackle. Got a handball out and they're away through James. My mistake. Got a chance now. Trying to take the mark was Want. He's been everywhere today. He has just wanted it. Ball in board. Thank you for that one. Finds Hamilton across the ground. Got numbers here and it's with Black. He's got men leading in the pocket. Goes for them. over the top. Might favour the Eastern Lions though. Tackle without the footy. Park Orchard's trying to get it out. Pressure's really on here. Great tackle there from Murphy. Players pile in on top of him. In there was Griffiths as well. It'll be a ball up. 35 out from Park Orchard. Eastern Lions goal.
It's just a couple of scores that we've got here. Eastern Lions obviously leading Park Orchards at the moment by 6 points, but the Croydon lead Waverley Blues by 73 points at three-quarter time.
Did you Twitter yourself?
Almost did. I didn't press tweet though.
So they're out the back now through Ryan Turner. He's had plenty of it today. Ball eventually bounces for Corey James. He finds Roland. Handball out, using the ball well with the chain of handballs. Comes out to Fraser. Kick inside 50. Finds the big man in Jono Dressing. Can he have a shot? He just loads up. It doesn't go. Instead, looks for a man. Ball's going to come again. No, great mark taken there by Lee Rankin. He heads to the wing and finds Vic Curry. He feigns a handball, eventually will go short and find the big man in Gareth Bailey. Couldn't take the mark, pushed out. Well done there by Griffiths. Free kick, holding the man off the ball, will go the way of Bailey in the end against Griffiths. Got a chance now, the big ruckman. Not a bad kick for a ruckman. Ball goes high, a good mark taken in defence there for Park Orchards by Jared Byrne. Directing traffic, we'll just have to go long to the wings. Seen plenty of that today. It's going to bounce for Curry. He can go if it just sits for him. Good little palm on. Kick over the top. And now they can move. They don't muck around. Handball off. Ball's going to head inside with the wind. It's not a bad shot. It's hit the left post. Would have been a chance there for Jason Want. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard is the Lions 8-4-52 to Park Orchard 6-9-45.
That foray was really set up then from some really intelligent play from Jamie Devonish. Was able to put the ball onto the boot and set up his player in space, who was able to drive it long. Unfortunately, just hit the post, didn't get reward for effort.
Wasting no time, Park Orchards drive the ball out wide. It comes in the arms of Christian Fair, who kicked that ripper last goal over the boundary line. She goes right in front of Corey Hall, who's got something for us thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, exactly what Peter Nicholson said at three-quarter time, just to keep playing down the wings there. They're doing it to a T.
Thank you very much, Corey. Knockdown that time came from Cowan. They're in the middle of the ground. Kick up towards the half-forward line, charging out in front and taking a strong mark is Griffiths. So, sun in his eyes. To switch it to the broadcast side. He was almost trapped, but he got the handball away in time to James on the left boot. He was put under a bit of pressure, almost chopped off there by Daniel Black. Dropped what he probably should have taken. Now the Sharks have the numbers. Tom Fair, balks one, goes backwards to Coughlin. They go backwards again to Hollowa. He got met very heavily by Jamie Devonish. How do you do? It's advantage paid, and they're going to kick a goal too. Everybody stopped. It was a terrific bit of play by Tom Fair, and he just went on with it, banged it through. Park Orchards have got the first 2 goals, Frosty, in this final term, and wouldn't you know it, scores are level, are they?
I believe the Eastern Lions will be in front by a point from that one behind.
That scoreboard is killing us this afternoon over there. As soon as we need to say the score, they are changing it every time on us. Fantastic bit of running play from end to end. So against the breeze as well, like you said, it looks like they're running away with a bit more legs.
They've been able to generate the ball out in space this quarter, and that's been the difference. The Eastern Lions haven't been able to bottle it up around the contest and utilise their bigger bodied midfielders. If Park Orchards get out in space, they're able to run. And with their fitness and very young side, they only need to get a sniff, and they might run over the top of the Eastern Lions here.
Set for a great last 20 minutes. We played 6 in the final term. Lions won the tap through Cowan. Ball scrap in the centre, trying to get it out. In there for the Lions was Gordon. Couldn't do much still in there. Eventually, the umpire will throw it up pretty much right in the centre circle. It is the Lions by 1 point. A windy afternoon here. Won the tap there again was Cowan. Ball's going to come out. Leading the chase of the ball for the Park Orchard side is Fair. Ball's going to come inside 50 for the Orchards. Ball's bouncing, trying to pick it up is James Hall. He eventually sees it over the line. 40 around from the Park Orchards goal. Another chance here. The wind hasn't deterred them at all in this final term. They've been very strong. Not a great throw-in. Eventually got a punch there. It was Jenkins. Players diving in, trying to get it out. It's been desperation. Footy all day. Snap from the pocket. Oh, just punched over by Hall. Did well. It was Fair. Christian Variety had the chance. 1 behind on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We are all even. 8-4-52 apiece.
Great calling. Braden Ingram making his debut this afternoon.
Play-by-play action. Close finish. You brought the luck to the team today. The kick comes in now. Went into absolutely no one. Bouncing ball into the middle of the ground. Who'll be the first to meet it? It's still running along. Oh, off the play there. Murphy's given away a free kick, and it'll go to Park Orchards. It'll go to Brennan Jenkins. So the ball, we're back on air now as we got flicked off. I don't know how that happened, but we're in the middle of the ground, and it'll be in the arms of Tom Fair. So Bruce Prest with his obsessive compulsive disorder, just flicking switches in the background as the ball goes up towards the half-forward line. Getting out and taking a good mark there is Lee Rankin. He's been a bit of a general up there this afternoon as he goes short. It went over the top of Brooks's heads. He might be able to get there to meet it. He had to trap in Walkley, the big man. He had players come in to support. The Lions might be able to get away with this. That's a throw, though. Great bit of tackling, Peter Baird.
Oh, they've lifted their intensity here, Park Orchards, and they can really sense that if they can get a bit of a sniff here, they might be able to run over the top. I really like the way they've been able to move the ball out into space. The other thing they've been able to do, they've manned up those loose men in defence from the Eastern Lions, something that I was calling for 2 quarters. Maybe Peter Nicholson's only just started to listen.
Well, Walkley let himself down. The kick was half smothered. Gordon tried to trap it for the Lions. It's a loose footy once again. The umpire says no, I'll come in and bounce it. Ben Waterworth around the grounds.
Yes, just getting a score here. Montrose had an absolutely amazing term in that third term. They held Mooroolbark goalless. They lead by 37 points at three-quarter time. 11-12, 78 to 6-5, 41.
Well, the ball scoots out now to Gamble. He goes inside forward 50 over the top of Dressing's head. It's only about 20 metres out now on hands and knees. Rankin got it away to Devnish. Scrambled to kick out towards the half-back line. That was okay. Gordon's there. Bork's one goes over the top towards Brooks, and now the Lions are away. The driving kick goes up towards the half-forward line. That time it went straight over the head of Camboras. Stacks on the mill. Who's going to be able to get away with this? Trying to get out was Josh Temple. He was wrapped up in a good tackle, a gang tackle in fact, and we'll have a bounce about 40 metres out from goal. So the Eastern Lions, they need one. They need a steadier. They just need a score. In fact, Park Orchard's doing everything early in this final term as the ball scoots out straight into the arms of Gamble. Banged it on his boot, kicked it out towards the wing position, towards the Cowan direction. The big man went to ground. He was good enough to get a handball away in the end, charging through, nearly giving away another free kick is Murphy in the back, so it'll go the way of the Sharks. Getting up and taking it is Ryan Turner. Not uncommon to see him on the bottom of a pack. Goes up towards Coughlin. Swings around now on the right boot. It went straight off the side of that boot and he kicked it straight into the opposition's arms. And I think there's a 25-metre penalty being paid there, Peter Baird.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of back chat there from John O'Dressing towards his team to lose 25 metres in ground. This is a dangerous kick here. The Eastern Lions will be looking to try and hit a marking target, trying to get that lead back.
So it'll be Black. He just measures the kick, kicks it to true centre half forward. It beats every single player over the back. Oh, that was good play there by James. He's going to be able to clear it now for the Sharks. Kicks it out wide. He kicked it to a one-on-one situation. Turner of the Luke variety. He had to be up to the task, but so too was O'Keefe. Somehow got a handball away. That was brilliant play. Temple got one back. Coughlin came charging in. It's right near that boundary line on the outer side. Brilliant play there to get it into the arms of Coughlin, and now the Sharks kick it up towards the half-forward line for then. Devonish makes front spot, but getting on and taking a good grab there, and they keep it on moving to Sam Fraser. He crosses the 50. He might even put this one through, and the Sharks have got another one, and they've hit the front here out of Fairpark. EFL match of the day, and it's really proving to be that as well, because Park Orchards in this final term, they've kicked 3 goals and they've hit the front on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard and lead it by 6 points, Peter Baird.
Yeah, they've shown a lot of run. They've been able to get that ball out in space, and that's the key for them. They're a very young side. When they do that, they look so quick and damaging. It's when the ball's bottled up with these loose numbers back behind the play in defence that they really struggle with their body size and the contested footy around the ball. So when being able to change up their style of play, despite going into probably a 2 or 3 goal win, they've been able to kick the only 3 goals of the quarter. They're in front, BWS. They lead by a goal.
Arakira Urgent Care Boundary Riders have got something. Thanks, boys.
Just quickly, boys. Park Orchards, their transition running looking far superior at the moment. Whether that's from the bye of the 2 injuries to Eastern Lions, I'm not sure.
Ball's come forward in favour of the Eastern Lions, but Hayde was managed to pick it up. Found his man in Fraser, the man who just kicked the goal, kicked his second for the day. He runs it out of bounds just in front of the Park Orchards interchange bench. We've played 12 minutes here in the final term. It is a 1-goal lead to Park Orchards. Ball into play. Bailey won the tap. Comes to ground trying to break a tackle for Park Orchards. Ball comes out to Coughlin. They're going forward again. It might sit. for Hollower. It won't. Ball comes to ground. Desperation footy. Players diving in there. Shot on goal is just to the right-hand side from Brennan Jenkins with a chance to extend their lead. But it is now out to more than one kick. It is the Lions 8-4-52 and Park Orchards 8-11-59 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
The Eastern Lions just need to take a breath here and compose themselves. They need to go back and try and force stoppages at every time opportunity they get. They can't afford to let the Park Orchards outside runners get into space like they have early in this quarter.
Could be a handy point as well come the end of the game. Any peppering around the goals is vital at this stage as the kick comes out from Hall. That was okay, but it was a 2-on-1 situation and the 1-1 out here. Adam Gamble has it about 55 out. Just measures the kick now in towards the forward pocket and it was absolutely centimetre perfect too. He thought it might be good. Running on his Sam Fraser, he wants to put this through but he pushes it right across the face of goal. He caught his opponent unawares on the mark and almost ran into a good goal there, but minor score is the result. It's an 8-point lead now to Park Orchards. The Eastern Lions 8-4-52 but Park Orchards 8 goals 12-60.
Hall to bring it back in. Needs to find a way to break this zone. He thinks he'll do that by going long up the centre. Needed to find a ball at the back. Punch the ball there was Devonish. And they're away now. Kick forward to half forward. Ball needs to bounce. It favours Park Orchards in Battistella. Then to Roland. He got gang tackle. Didn't dispose the ball. Play on. Shot on goal. It's a scrappy one. It's just to the left-hand side there from Chamburis. Minor score, it is the Eastern Lions 8-5-53 to Park Orchards 8-12-60 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We played 14 minutes, final term.
Around the grounds with Ben Waterworth.
Yes, 12-6-78. Blackburn, Noble Park 12-15-87. Knox 7-7-49. East Burwood 4-3-29. Norwood 8-7-55 to East Ringwood 9-16-70. The Roos lead by 15 points. Roval goalless, scoreless in the third term. Lilydale 6-14-50 leading Roval 4-6-30. Scoresby 5-15-45. Trail South Croydon by 5 points 7-8-50. And in the big one, it's Balwyn 14-6-90 leading Vermont 12-8-80. Cracker of a game out there at Vermont.
Speaking of cracker of a game, this is happening out here at Fairpark today because Rod Church, the big full forward who's kicked 2 goals today, has a chance from just outside the 45-metre arc to once again level the scores. He knows his position. It's a good-looking kick off the boot and it goes straight over the goal umpire's head. Here come the home side. They've hit level scores once again and on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Well, I've written down, okay, this. Well, thanks for just cutting me off completely. You've just ruined my whole run there, Peter Baird. You say the score.
The score is 9-4.
9-5.
Yeah, it's not as easy as what you think, is it? Not as easy as what
though.
you think. There's 1 point the margin here on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Just contain yourself, Will Taylor.
Ball up in the centre. Good tap one there by Bailey. Ball and ground players jumping all over. We'll have another ball up. We've played 15 minutes here in the final term. You'd probably expect about a 26-minute final term. They haven't been long ones today. Thrown up again. It was Bailey once more to ground. Handball out there away through this man in Gamble. He's had plenty of it this final term. High ball flew there. Did dressing. Ball's going to come to ground. Ball in board. They can have a snap here. No. Ball comes to ground. They've got a chance here to clear. Ball through Turner is a high one. And camped under it was Hall. Couldn't take it. Good work from dressing. He gets it away though. It'll be outside 50. Needs it to bounce as McElroy. But first of the ball should be high.
Well done.
McElroy got it. Kick over the top and can go now in. So Nick Cowan, the ruckman, wheels round onto his right, looking for his man in Powell. Ball's going to come out the back and going to be a high tackle against East Lions. It'll go to Julian Battistella.
Been super today.
Now he's away to the wing. It's going to be a 2-on-1. Good effort there from, it looked to be O'Leary. Ball to ground. Eastern Lions clearing kick towards the boundary line. Going back with the flight will be... it's fair. And it'll bounce out of bounds. Will be a throw-in in front of the interchange gates. Frenetic final term here. Players going back and forth. Desperation footy, wanting their first wins. Ball comes to ground. It's going to work for the Eastern Lions. Mark will be taken in defence there by Corey James. He might just slow it down a bit. No, not too much. Heads into the centre corridor and the ball is with Gamble. Now, he moves to the far side of the ground. Plenty of players there. going back with the fly. It's Holloway. Eventually it rolls out of bounds just in front of the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and it is the Park Orchards 8-12-60, a 1 point lead over the Eastern Lions, 9-5-59, 17 minutes played, final term.
The umpire brings the ball back in now. Holloway had the front spot stolen by Ryan Turner, banged it on his boot, kicks it inside forward 50. Jason Want got right underneath it. He needed some support and he got it. Now the Lions drive the ball out towards the wing position. It's got to bounce right for Powell. He needed to trap it. Had some support running through him. Murphy balked one, snapped it around the body, kicks it to the hot spot around that half forward line. It bounces over the head of Bailey that time. They might have the numbers here. O'Leary, he trapped it for the Sharks, got the handball out wide. They're going to get a free kick, holding the man. So a free kick to Park Orchards in the back pocket. What a super smother that was, right on the goal line, charging through. Very impressive, Peter Baird.
Luke Gordon then, I think he might have been over the mark then, but he got away with that one. He's able to lock the ball in deep into that forward pocket. Chance here for the Eastern Lions to score.
Certainly is. 1 point ball game. The visitors are currently leading it. The umpire throws it in right over everybody's head. A snap goes up into absolutely nowhere. The umpire calls play on. Ball hits the deck. Nearly a kick by O'Keefe into the goal line. That was smothered too. Charging in there. Turner, laser tackle, will have a bounce at 20 metres out from the goal line. So we've gone almost 18 minutes here in this final term. We know it's been a short game so far, so don't expect this quarter to go any longer. Stolen by Ryan Turner, got it out of that danger zone right into the middle of the ground. The umpire's paid a free kick. It'll go the way of the Lions. So it went to Nick Cowan, the big ruckman, caught one in the back. Sizing up his options now. The kick was a little bit skew if it went out towards the direction of Coghlan, banged it on his boot, just kicked it out towards the wing position, created a little bit of a foot race out there, asked the big man Troy Walkley to do some hard yards. He did so, forced the pressure over the boundary line and out of bounds. Let's go around the ground, speaking of that, with Ben Waterworth.
Yeah, Doncaster thumping Glen Waverley Hawks 14-11-95 to Glen Waverley 4-4-28. Heathmont lead Ringwood by 1 point in Division 3, and Mitcham have got a fight on their hands against the Wilders Pioneers. 12-5-77 the Tigers, Wilders Pioneers 11-8-74. In Division 2, Doncaster East 101 leading Upper Gully 66, should have that in the bag. Ooh. Bayswater 85 lead Donvale 69. Montrose kicked away against Murrelbach 78-41. North Ringwood comfortably over Mulgrave 78-49, and Croydon by 73 points over the Waverley Blues.
Well, the ball spills out. It goes towards the Holloway direction, and the big man stands tall about 30 metres out from goal, and Park Orchards might be able to stretch their lead back out to a 7 point ball game here. Peter Baird kicked 2 early goals in this match, and if ever a player needed to stand up tall, it are their big players in this last dying moments of the final term.
As the game gets on, the big men don't get any shorter than BWS, and he was just reached up over the top of the pack, was able to hang on at that one. Nice, strong hands from Holloway. Needs to go back, finish the job, and put the goal through, though, for the Park Orchard side.
So the man with the dreads and the headband, Leon Holloway, 2 goals this afternoon, comes in. It's a great approach, and it's a super kick, too. Straight over the goal umpire's head for his third. And Park Orchards now, they're running away with this game, well, in a sense of kicking the last 4 goals of the match, and they've just got a lot of turner speed, and it's out to a 7 point ball game now on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Pete.
They've looked full of run this last quarter, and whenever they needed a man to stand up, Holloway was that man in that marking contest then. Nice, strong hands, finished the job off. They're out to a 7 point lead. Eastern Lions need an answer. I don't reckon there's much more than 3 or 4 minutes left in this game.
They need 2 scores, the Eastern Lions. Need someone to stand up. Had some good contributors all day, but haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard when it counts. Clearance came from Luke Turner up forward, making this slow down. Mark taken by Christian Fair. He doesn't look to slow down too much. Heads inside 50 over the top of his man in Walkley. Ball's going to bounce, might rush behind, might be the best way to do it. That's what they will do. So it's 1 behind. It's the Park Orchards footy side, 9-13-67. The Eastern Lions, 9-5-59. We've played 21 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Need to roll the dice here. The Eastern Lions go the length of the ground in this play, I reckon.
So the ball comes back into play. Who's going to stand tall? It'll be the big man, Nick Cow. And just as we expected, got the handball across there. Camburas drives the ball inside forward 50. Standing strong as he's done all afternoon is Battistella. And he doesn't mind taking off either. Gives himself a bounce. Kicks it up towards the wing position. Who's going to go up here? Well, it was a 3-on-1 situation in the Lions' favour. And they'll look to kick the ball back in towards the middle, putting their teammates under a lot of pressure. Turner came in hard and he copped a free kick too for a high tackle.
Prepared to put his head over the ball in that situation, then Turner and draw the free kick. Great play then by the young Park Orchards player.
He's been super as well today. Really led from the front, kicks the ball out wide. It was okay. Finds a teammate in Christian Fair. He kicks the ball into the pocket again, and that's a good mark taken by the big fella in Walkley down there in the forward pocket. He'll just slow things down, you would expect, Pete, kicking from about 40 metres out from goal. They're already 2 scoring shots in front. This is a big kick.
Oh, it certainly is. Probably the icing on the cake if he can put this one through the middle of the goals. Walkley here has got an opportunity to seal the game for Park Orchards, I reckon.
He's covered a lot of ground today. Played in a few positions, out of the middle, drifted forward, really put his body on the line and in the spots that it needed to be, which Peter Nicholson will be really rapt about. So Troy Walkley at the 22-minute mark of the last term. His side currently leads it by 8 points. He wants to stretch that to just 9 points. So minor score is the result. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Park Orchards moved to 9 goals, 14-68. The Eastern Lions are 9-5-59. Almost 23 minutes gone. Let's go around the grounds with Ben Waterworth.
Yep, we can go around the grounds in Division 4. Canterbury 5-4-34, trailing Forest Hill 15-9-99. Kilsyth have really kicked away against Nunawading. They lead by 39 points at three-quarter time. Ferntree Gully by 40 points over Coldstream. And
oh, there's a siren. You would not believe it. A 22-minute quarter again. This nearly would have to be an Eastern Football League record out here this afternoon. Fantastic performance by the Park Orchards Football Club. What a win it was out here for them this afternoon. They came from behind, trailing at most, well, definitely at half-time and three-quarter time, and they've come out victors. Peter Baird kicking a very strong 4 goals in that final term against the Breeze as well. The final margin is 9 points. Fantastic effort by the Sharks to bounce back after what was a week to forget by the club.
It certainly was, and I reckon that win actually meant something for Peter Nicholson. I've watched him run off the bench, fist pumping in the air. He actually really wanted to get this win for the Park Orchard side after their disappointing showing against Surrey Park in round 1. He'll be wrapped with the run they showed. They were able to force the ball out into space in that last quarter. Just too many fresh legs. An injury hampered Eastern Lions, so they run out of gas and they used up all their fuel tickets in the first 3 quarters. 2 men on the bench really hurt them, particularly late in the game. And the Park Orchard side, once they got a sniff, they got a bit of belief and they were able to finish the job.
Absolutely super effort by the Sharks to be able to run this game out. Do you think it was the fact that the Eastern Lions struggled with their bench in that second half that may have hindered? Because they hindered them because they did have a good start to the game.
Oh, it certainly hurt them. I don't know whether it's the reason they lost the game though. Park Orchards had plenty of scoring opportunities, particularly in that third quarter, and were able to really push hard. But unfortunately for them, they were able to run over the top of the Eastern Lions. They just ran out of fuel tickets, and they just looked so much the better side when they were able to get out in space, and that's the key for this side. They can't play contested footy because they don't have that body size, but when they get in space, they look really, really damaging.
Just waiting for Corey Hall to get out of first gear out there on the pitch, and hopefully we'll be able to have a chat to the victorious coach, Peter Nicholson. Let's go through the major goal kickers of the match. It was Leon Holloway to put that last goal through to give him 3 for the game, 2 each to Sam Fraser and Christian Fair, and singles to Tom Fair. For the Eastern Lions, their major goal kicker was Big Rod Church, relatively well held all afternoon. He still kicked 3 goals, so 2 goals each to O'Keefe and Powell with a single to Luke Gordon. But a 9-point margin out here today. The Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the end of the day read 9 goals, 14-68 to Park Orchards, 9-5-59 to the Eastern Lions.
Pete, I just thought that the Eastern Lions had a few opportunities in the closing minutes. They just seemed to be a lack of run, but also bombing forward. They just couldn't seem to find anyone strong and tall up forward at the end of the game.
Yeah, the other thing you've got to take into account, there's 12 new players into this side as well. It's going to take them a little bit of time to gel. So, but the Park Orchard side, all credit to them. They finished full of run and was able to close that job out.
Do you think it's also a case of Park Orchards had a chance to play last week, whereas Eastern Lions, this is really their first game of the year, so it was a case of getting used to the stresses of footy again?
Absolutely, that would no doubt be a contributing factor. Park Orchards got that extra game under their belt. The Eastern Lions, they sat on the sidelines last week and weren't able to get out on the field. Park Orchards maybe just that little bit fitter as well, and that's really the difference.
Well, what a terrific game it was, but it's not the only terrific game out around the eastern suburbs this afternoon, because Ben Waterworth's had a very busy last half an hour or so. Some more scores around the grounds, thanks Ben.
Oh yeah, there's plenty going around the Eastern Football League. Noble Park currently leading Blackburn by 9 points. Knox leading East Burwood by 20 points. East Ringwood, bit of an upset here, lead Norwood by 15 points. Lilydale lead Roeville by 20 points. South Croydon lead Scoresby by 5 points. Balwyn lead Vermont by 10 points. They're the scores in Division 1. In Division 2, Doncaster East 15-11-101, leading Upper Ferntree Gully 10-6-66. Let's cross the Park Orchards rooms to hear the song. Very nice. .874, so a comfortable lead for Mitcham by 29 points. It's full time in Wantirna South and Boronia, and the Devils have caused a massive, well, not a massive upset, but gosh, they played really well today. 16-16-1-12, defeating Boronia 9-14-68. So that is a 44-point win to the Devils. Great effort by them. Templestowe have kicked away in the third quarter to lead Churnside Park by 34 points. And we've got another close game with Warrandyte involved. The Basin 12-5-77, leading Warrandyte 11-4. In Division 4, Forest Hill comfortably over Canterbury by 65 points. Kilsyth have kicked away against Nunawading as well. They lead by 39 points at three-quarter time. And Coldstream and Ferntree Gully, Coldstream's disappointing start to Division 4 continuing. Ferntree Gully 66, leading Coldstream 26, 40 points the margin there. South Belgrave have kicked away against Sylvan in the end, 10-11-71 the Saints to Sylvan 3-10-28. And here in the radio game, of course, Park Orchards 9-14-68, defeating the Eastern Lions 9-5-59.
Will Taylor with the Choose Tap stats.